Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Max Gear is a high-performance synthetic gear oil designed to provide maximum protection to heavily loaded gear. Slippery synthetic molecules and center look additive package not only reduce wear, they virtually eliminate both gear and bearing wear. We run 1,000 horsepower through our transmission and differential all season long and never have a problem. Eliminate a variable. Drift with Royal Purple Max Gear. Pour purple, Royal Purple. You can find Max Gear at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Motorsports で得た高度な技術、すべてのレースホイール、一本に込める魂は永遠に変わらない。Beyond the Revolution. The concept is racing.
There's no better way to test your tires than on the racetrack.
They're absolutely shredded now.
That's why at Kenda Tires, we compete with the same tires we sell. And that's how the technology built into every Bethesda UHP Max tire goes from podium
A lot of performance
to pavement. Whether you're a professional driver chasing podiums or a grassroots enthusiast looking for weekend excitement, Kenda Tires are designed for your journey.
So big one once again for you guys this year. We are giving you the chance to win a brand new one-of-a-kind Mustang RTR inspired by my AutoZone Mustang in Formula Drift. Featuring a custom graphics package, RTR wheels and the same Pennzoil NGK and Optima products that I run in Formula Drift. Now until October 21st, make a qualifying Pennzoil NGK or Optima purchase in-store or online at AutoZone. AutoZone reward members are automatically entered for a chance to win with a qualifying purchase. Best of luck and can't wait to see you in a Mustang RTR.
Round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. This is Irwindale Speedway, aka the House of Drift. This is it, the final round. As we take a look at our interesting season, who is going to be our champion? Only one shall be supreme. Big angle there. Look at Castro just has these moments of greatness, and there is one right now. A championship contender is knocked out early. Brandon Sorensen cuts through that smoke, no problem. Boom, oh boy. Are you ready to meet your top 16 drivers here at the House of Drift?
This thing is tuned up. Holy.
Big angle. Whoa, did you see that? He drops down pretty low there. Now past that inside clip. Oh, right turn goes into the wall. Wow. Your winner unanimously is Nick Novak gets the win. A perfect event.
Welcome out. Look at this. We had, it's sold out. We had an amazing line. Went the entirety plus some of the quarter-mile drag strip. Look at this. Look at this. Thank you to the fans, the ones that are in the building, to a sold out The House of Drift. And thank you for those that are tuning in, because this is the final round of the 2024 Formula Drift Pro Championship. This is the Type S title fight because the championship is on the line. It can be clinched up here in just a short moment. Within an hour, we'll find out if we have James the Machine Dean, first ever four-time Formula Drift champion. He went back-to-back-to-back pre-COVID, and then now he comes back. He's behind the wheel of his trusty steed, the Ford Mustang. And again, it's gonna get locked up. We'll talk about those scenarios in a little bit. Thank you so much for joining us here as the fans are streaming in. They're walking the pits. But again, history will be made in just a little bit. I'm Jared Dienda. We're about to send it. And the blue beanie, the teal toque, the bourbon destroyer, the meat sweater, the smoky meat, the diesel destroyer as well. Jacob Gettens. He's in the building.
Love it, love it. The more nicknames, the better. Yeah, I'm here. I'm pumped.
Canadian Crusher.
There you go. All right. I mean, I'm a Floridian now.
The Florida man.
Florida man, Jacob. I'll take it.
How exciting is this, man? Again, great weather, the making of a great event, and a championship can be crowned.
Just so cool. I mean, from everything we saw last night, from everything we've seen in practice, the way this bracket looks, the history that could be made. I walked, below the stands again today. Just walked through all the champions.
Chills. I like that chills.
It's just chills. It's the best way.
Why do you say that?
You feel. You go back and refresh back to that moment of that person changed history that time, and you get to see that every single time for all of these years, and then know that we're on the precipice of it happening once again.
And I just rode up the elevator with Dai Yoshihara.
Oh, no
He's
way.
in the building. I know Tanner Faust is out here. I don't know if Sam or Reese are out here, but Sam Hubinet, Reese Millen, those names are synonymous with drifting, and that's where they really cut their teeth, in motorsports. And you look at it now, and it's really wildly and widely respected as a motorsport, and again, the manufacturers that are involved. But here we look at the Drivers' Championship, the gentlemen that are behind the wheels, man and machine coming together in synchronicity, and James Dean has done it master class this year. He struggled last year.
Yeah.
So, I got to bring up Ben Hobson. He's kind of struggling, having a tough go. But look, a three-time champion struggled last year behind the wheel of the Mustang. You got to drive it. Again, coincidentally and ironically, it's a Mustang. It's a pony. It's a Bronco, even though there's a Bronco, but you got to harness that energy. You got to break it. And James Dean, Odi Bakshis, and it's going to get locked up. Basically, James' first battle. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth battle into our 32. And Lorette's not here with us, but bringing in the heat down on the ground, a good friend of ours, Cerise Taylor, caught up with the three-time, almost four-time champion. Cerise.
All right, thanks, guys. James, you are going into your fourth championship with Formula Drift. Walk us through some of the emotions that you're feeling as you go into this day.
It's a weird one. It's absolutely unbelievable. I can't believe that we're at this point, because it's the second year in the car. Obviously, it was the dream coming into the season, but I never felt like we would be in this position with such, a points lead coming into the finals. So I felt like during practice yesterday, it was the most intense practice session I think I ever did, because there's so much to lose. You know what I mean? It's usually we come to Irwindale, we're fighting for that title. You're not even thinking about damaging the car. But yesterday was let's try to survive practice. And I had such a relief when I did my 12th lap last night. It was unbelievable, because I was just there was a fear. There was a fear that something was going to go wrong. I didn't know how to process it properly. But now today coming here is just, it's amazing. I got all my family, all my friends here. The team are here, the car's ready, we're ready, and I just want to enjoy the moment.
And this season has not been easy for you. You have faced a number of challenges throughout the journey.
Yeah.
What are some of those highlights, and what was, I guess, the overcoming strategy for you?
Yeah, so coming from last year, obviously struggling to figure the car out 100%, even though we finished 5th in the championship, or 6th, I can't remember. But, over the off-season, after the crash in Irwindale, I couldn't drive for 3 months. So as soon as I started driving, I felt more hungry than ever. And I even bought a Mustang back in Europe so I could practice. And I came to Long Beach, the team built a brand new chassis. I felt like I was, giving myself the best chance possible. Testing went well, and then we went to Long Beach and had the fire. And when I saw the fire take off and be out of control, I thought that, nah, this isn't going to be the year. And, the team looked at the car after that fire, and there was kind of hopes and dreams gone from a lot of people. But Vaughn had this positive outlook, and he said, no, we're going to figure out a way. We're going to try. And then I was speaking with Ray, who's the main man on top of these cars, and he said, doesn't seem possible, but we're going to try our best. And long story short, team got it all back together, and as soon as the car fired up, I was just ready to give it my absolute everything, and we took that win in Long Beach, and that kind of set the stage for the rest of the season. And we were just, I feel more hungry than ever, and here we are. It's been a wild journey.
That all sounds so amazing. Shout out to your team. Shout out to your boss man, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Guys, we can't wait to see you out there.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Thank you very much.
absolutely buzzing, mate. And you know, he's got his mom. I saw his mom. I saw his sisters. They're in the building, and you know, there is a big push to visit Cork. So Pure Cork, Ireland. That's where he's from. And dude, I can't wait to get out. Have you been over to Ireland?
I did. Yeah, I was just there a couple weeks ago.
You don't have to rub it in.
I know, right?
I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Pure Cork, they're supporting him. It's basically the Cork Ireland Tourism Board. So guess what? I'm going to host those videos. We're going to go over there and party in Ireland.
Nice.
Party in Cork. All right, this is I'm joking, we're not. But I can't wait for my call. But looking at the top 32 drivers, he is the 5th battle. So that's the big one right there. You can see it highlighted in red. James Dean, Daniel Stuckey. The scenario is if he goes to the burnout box, pulls up to the line, it is his, and he'll be your 2024 Formula Drift champion. So absolutely excited, you know, and what I love about it is, you know, it's encapsulated so quick, but everybody still just wants to win Irwindale.
Yeah, there's something about winning Irwindale in particular that even winning a championship is phenomenal, but you will still put that I won Irwindale on your resume somewhere if you can do it. So yeah, it's not over until it's over. There's so many other battles that we need to look at. Who's going to be taking home second? The battle for third is absolutely wild, and even getting to 5th and 6th is going to be crazy. But yeah, it's amazing that the entire year, everything we've done, everything we've experienced, everything we've seen, all comes down to this.
Well, let's backtrack a year ago. James Dean doing a 50-50 on the wall, breaking his collarbone, still getting a podium, and then comes back at Long Beach, as we saw there. His car caught fire. He jumps out of the car. He wins in the rain. Osbo gets it done in Atlanta. Congrats to the Rockstar Energy Toyota GR Supra on Ditto Tires pilot. And then, you know, Shanahan. Those battles, Shanahan versus James Dean, we know how poetic that is, you know, with Shanahan getting the victory, but literally James Dean held Shanahan as a baby.
Yeah.
Like I love these stories that are unfolding. What that says to me is young guns. They're knocking on the door. They're right there. And then James Dean, again, making history on that flat E-Town track. Boom, gets the win. Again, we know how talented Odie Bakshish is, and then he backs it up again in a very straightforward and interesting St. Louis. Again, Manoa making history, the youngest ever to podium. I mean, it's just been one heck of a season, man. It's so exciting. And yeah, I mean, it's just so exciting.
It is. It's incredible to see the progression we've seen through the sport, and older drivers still keeping things rolling. Ryan Turk, I mean, a driver that's been back and forth and so close to so many championships, hitting his stride again. We see the Turk of old come back, and we
Emotions.
see, yeah, it just huge emotions from everybody. And we see Adam LZ on the podium, Manoa on there, and then right here, this was Odie Bakshish's championship to lose, and he didn't. He fought through the entire thing through Utah. He knew what he had to do to push this battle into Irwindale, and he did it. Like, the amount of pressure that has been on Odie Bakshish this entire year, it doesn't matter, it didn't wane, and he still has some fighting to do this weekend. He still has to hold that second spot, and he still has to put on a good showing. And to cap off the season with a tighter points race, to only be a few points behind James Dean in the championship, that could be enough to really cement how incredible Odie Bakshish is.
Very stoic is the word that comes to my mind when talking to him and interviewing him and talking about his victory there in Utah. He seemed tired. Like, yeah, I'm tired, boss. You know, like he was ready to go home. But here we are in Irwindale. You know, put an exclamation point. You know, it's just such a magical place. You know, it's raw, you know, across here we are up in the tower looking across just the mill going on over here, and we just see many different vehicles and people just over the years, you know, families developing, you know, even my kids in the building. I mean, it's crazy, but basically place your bets. Place your bets. Who's going to win? You can see right here, scan the QR code, place your bets. I want to see like crazy prop bets, like who's the first to DB, who's going to catch fire, who's gonna, you know, I don't know, when are we gonna see here? Oh, Doctor.
Yeah.
When is Jacob's beanie gonna come off?
Never, maybe.
He showers with it on. It's crazy. All right, so as you can see, all the rubber being laid down, and we're gonna definitely lay some more down. Again, let's throw it down to our homegirl, Cerise Taylor.
Thank you so much, guys. I am here with Odie. Odie, you are the defending runner-up this season. Going into this final round, what does it mean to you to have James Dean coming into his 4th championship?
Well, I mean, he's a tough one to beat, and I've had some bad luck throughout the season. We all do. You know, all the teams struggle. I feel like that set us back a little bit. The performance was still good, hence we're in 2nd place. And, yeah, I think, you know, I still enjoy charging hard, and I feel like I still have a chance. And yeah, it's going to be tough. he literally all he has to do is show up to top 32 and he gets the championship. But yeah, I still have encouragement to keep doing this because, you know, I'm so close, and yeah, even all the bad luck that we had this season, still to be in second feels pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, there's a very, very solid chance that you're going to be up on podium with everybody else. So going into this next year, you have some announcements. You just were telling us that you're not going to be driving with Simon next year. What is it going to take to win in 2025?
I mean, part of that announcement is I'm going to be able to focus a little bit more on myself. You know, if someone drives on my team, when Ben Hobson drove, when Simon drove, I give it all. Like, I made sure that those cars are dialed and set, because that means a lot to me. I can't have my car go out and just not do well. It can't be half-ass set up. So bottom line is I segment a lot of my energy away from my vehicle to make sure everything's right. You know, off seasons are longer, in between rounds are longer because I'm servicing other cars. So next season, I'm going to focus on my car. There's been a lot of drivers, really cool drivers that are like, hey, Odie, let me drive your cars, even before we made this announcement. And it's tough, but I'm just like, hey, I can't do that for you this year. So we're going to focus on that. Obviously, focus on field race teams' knowledge and service to a wider, broad range of drivers, from grassroots all the way to pro that we sponsor. And I think I just need to, I kind of need to give my energy to other things, and then that little bit left that is just encompassing my race team to have it go into my program and win the championship.
Well, we've seen comeback after comeback, the little wins all throughout the season leading up to this point. So we're wishing you the best of luck. Go get them.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Some
Back to
great,
you.
yeah. Thank you, Cerise, and thank you, Odie. First of all, Odie without glasses. Didn't know that was on the bingo card.
Lost that bet, huh?
Just like, yeah. So there's that bet, that prop.
Yeah.
When is Odie gonna have his glasses on, like the beanie? All joking aside, stoked. I think this is a great direction for him. Focusing his energy, because we talk about those that are bridesmaids, and we talk about the young guns, right? And here we are having a potential. I mean, it's, if you're a betting man, it's 99%. If you play fantasy sports, it's like 99% James Dean is going to wrap this thing up. So I think that's a great focus for Odie going into next season.
Yeah, it's going to be really scary to see what his driving is going to be like, what his potential is going to be when all he has is a unified focus.
Yeah.
Just absolutely honed in, and he's proven that he can develop drivers. There's no question about it. Look what he did with Ben Hobson, absolutely crushing pro spec for an entire year. Simon Olsen, a driver that was, in the 20th spot, jumping up to 4th in a single year by switching teams is insane.
Yep.
So, yeah, for Odie, it's going to be crazy to see what he can do. And for Simon, it'll be very interesting now that the baby bird's kind of left the nest. What's he going to do from here? I mean, obviously he'll be building out a chassis. There'll be something different that's going on. But, now it's like, yeah, I know some things. I know a few things.
His name is Simon, his last name's Olsen.
Yeah, exactly. I know
Let's
that.
go.
But,
Steven Olsen. Steven Olsen, let's go.
Let's go.
Here we are. Well, talking about more technology here, FD Unlocked is your all-access pass to Formula Drift. Again, exclusive camera angles both in-car and on track, zero latency live feed, live telemetry. Experience the Unlocked experience now, available in iOS and Android stores. Again, as we download the app, powered by Torque Hub. And just got a lot of crosstalk here. We got FD Japan judges here, Kenji. We got former FD judges, Ryan Lontaine, Andy Yen is here in the building, and then of course our judges. We got our actually serving judges, not just hanging out and eating our food.
Yeah, actually doing work.
Yeah, doing work here this weekend. Robbie Bushido, Blade Nishida, sharpen that sword, sharpen that tattoo machine, because he's got more tattoos. Brian the Brain Eggert, and then you got Reese, the Colombian cartel Marin.
I was gonna go with
That's all I got. That's all I got. He's laughing at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my birthday. I can say whatever I want. Okay. I got a hall pass today.
Could have called him Reese's Cup Marin, but no. We won't.
Reese's Cup. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Marin. There you go. We call him PB, our PB and M. Reese Peanut Butter Marin. Let's take a look at some of the highlights at our drivers meeting, brought to you by K&N. Walk us through it, because there were some that were pretty interesting yesterday.
Yeah, full throttle off the start line. They really want a lot of commitment off it. They are allowing the use of left foot brake, especially around the first outside zone, but they want you to hold that in a consistent fashion. We'll get to that. But another big one is be at angle when passing inner clip 1. They want that car settled and already basically staring back up at the judges booth is what they're looking for. If you can throw 90 degrees into clip 1, that's going to be sick. And then yes, maintain your pace around the banks. You can use that left foot brake, but we'll be watching for those decel lights to dip. If they're not on throttle, if they're not keeping that momentum going, they're using that left foot brake to stall up the chase car. That's going to be a big no-no, and it'll be held against them in a pretty heavy manner.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw some interesting battles in seating bracket. A lot of the drivers just bowed out, which we really don't love, to be quite honest. But you know, if you're able to run, go ahead and run it, baby. Last night, that decel zone, you can see the decel zone on initiation. That's going to be a natural one, right? So you're coming at speed, big bank here, the big, you know, Irwindale Speedway bank. You're going to have a natural slowdown. The other one there is that transition into outside zone 2, the inside bank, the lower bank, whatever you want to call it. There's going to be a natural slowdown, but we saw that come into play yesterday, notably between Thorne and Von Gittin Jr.
Yeah, you are allowed to slow down in that section, but notice that it is happening after inside clip 1, so you'll be transitioning back to catch that bank. That's when they're allowing the slowdown. They don't want you slowing down before this point. They want you on throttle. And what's interesting is we're able to get more data and technology. There's actually a couple of drivers here who don't decel at all throughout this track. There's no major decel. They might drop a couple miles per hour, but they're on throttle the entire time. It's crazy.
Yep. Well, we are entering our Rockstar energy drink, top 32. Put a can in the hand and put some smoke in the sky. We're talking about Andy Haley, the drift wizard. Look at this gentleman. If he asks you for money, give it to him. I don't know. I don't know what could happen.
He could buy a cone hat.
Yeah, he could buy a cone hat. He cast a spell. I mean, having so much fun. Jonathan Castro from Dominican Republic. He got into a tussle with the wall earlier today. Rad Dan was chasing him in. Don't know what kind of condition the car is in, but saw him and Dan get towed off earlier in practice. A lot of practice yesterday. It accumulated total 6 hours, but Federico went hard in the wall yesterday, but I know he's in the show today. He's excited. I saw him send me some messages, but do you know what kind of condition Castro's car is in?
Seems to be okay. I know Rad Dan, they are thrashing 3 corners all pretty much nuked, so he's got some work to do.
Here we go. Andy Haley, Evo Auto Works from right here in Redlands, California. Let's go and transition there. Boom. Andy Haley, that spicy BMW. Jonathan Castro in the chase position. You can see him wavering there a little bit there. That first outside zone, big on the bank. Justin Smash chasing him down in that inside outside zone. There we go. Oh, Andy Haley. Oh, look at that. He kind of leads him in. Castro bumps, but you can see that line. He goes straight out as Haley, he hit it, but he kept it outside. Castro had to dive in. It looked like he got a little deeper into that wall, and he fought the wall, and the wall always wins, as Johnny Cash says. I think that's how the song goes.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, a good run to lead us off here. Andy Haley does a good job getting that initiation. A bit of a lower section of that line. We'd like to see him right up on the wall, and some wavering there. And then Castro in the chase, not getting overly aggressive, kind of viewing things out, doing a good job at not being overly aggressive. But there you go. Haley catches the wall, changes the attitude of the car. Castro is almost forced to kind of bail out of that zone to make sure that he doesn't have the same issue. When you're following the same line as the lead car, if they hit the wall, you're just naturally going to be going into that same spot. So Castro really focusing on the line in the chase here. Haley out front. A lot of wavering, a lot of floating back and forth, not as much commitment as we like to see. And right there, that's where you see it. And then Castro actually does catch the wall a little bit, almost in the exact same spot that Haley does, showing that he is following on pretty much the exact line that Haley is out front.
Hey, shout out to Andy Haley, you know, just a driver that made a lot of noise in Pro Spec. You know, we've seen him just bounce in, bounce out, great personality, has a lot of fun, and he didn't have to go into seating brackets. He was locked and loaded, got the chill yesterday, obviously practice, but, you know, shout out to him. Here we go, Castro in the front, that LTH, again, Toyota GR86. Haley back there a bit, just to give him his flowers, now transitioning into that inside clip, both almost simultaneously. Let's see if Haley can reel him in. A lot smoother line by both the drivers, and I don't know if that's gonna, you know, favor them to the judges and in the judges' eyes. You can see it looks like both kind of fighting grip here. The car's really gripping up there on initiation and throughout the entirety of the course.
Yeah, Castro just, it looked like it's still a little tight. The car's not getting all the way out to the zones, but much more fluid, much more stable all the way through this run. And you can see Haley in the chase just not really able to keep up. And look at the speed that we're getting out of Castro. I'd like to see him a little bit deeper on the wall. That transition we talked about could have had a bit more angle through there, but Castro looks dialed. It looks smooth. It looks like he knows what he wants to do, and he's putting the car where he's planning on putting it. And there's nothing that looks jarring or shaky or weird when it comes to Castro's lead run. Haley in the chase, it's good, but just not able to keep up. Yeah. Not able to really put down the power, keep that proximity through it. You also don't know, I mean, they didn't just catch the rear end of the wall. that can shake some things loose, that can wreak a bit of havoc later on that you may not know until you're partway through the run. But Haley, not a bad job, just got very aggressive and, and in this section, just not able to keep up with Castro.
Okay, so two very different battles as far as Haley leading and then Castro leading. Castro jumping out of the car. Surprisingly, a little bit warm today in the direct sun. In the shade, it's cool, but direct. Hey, final round. Let's have fun, guys. Leave it all out on the track. Put on one heck of a show. Good competition. Creates a good show. Slide him left for Haley, right for Dominican's finest, Jonathan Castro in that LTH Toyota GR86. Always got a smile on his face. Great attitude. Lovable human being. Husband, father, drifter, Dominican's finest. Castro gets the win. Haley, we'll see you down in the pits. Always a good time. Again, be sure to follow, support that Evil Auto Works BMW, the Drift Wizard. He's got the Drift Wizard cone hats, and check him out. He's doing a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah,
love his energy.
See, Castro looked a little sore getting out of the car there. I don't know if you saw, they kind of looked a little robotic, little stiff.
Hey, relax, dude. It's called getting old.
Yeah,
dude.
Hitting the wall doesn't help either. But
no, I know. I knew what you meant. All right, here are the stats. Forsberg versus Thorn. Look at those overall winning percentages, 64 versus 32. Forsberg, a three-time champ among the alumni of, he was the first ever, right? So Forsberg, three-time champ, Osbo, and then James Dean. So here we go, Forsberg out front in the NOS energy drink. Nismo Auto Parts, all new Z. Robert Thorn, he's got a lot of practice because last night, but look at that Forsberg high on the bank. Well done there, Thorn. You can see him shimming his way up. Looks like he gets into that pocket there, buried in the smoke, the GT Reno smoke, that ASM Racing BMW going to that second outside zone. Forsberg on rails. I mean, that thing is like a magnet to the wall. As Thorn, look at that, he's banging on his door. He's got a thorn in his side, literally immediately. As he snaps back, what a great run there from Chris Forsberg. Thorn, watch it from start to finish. Yeah, he applied that pressure there at the end. Was it enough? But I mean, I'm telling you, Forsberg was set it and forget it.
What's been amazing to see with Forsberg is that it's an old dog that's still learning new tricks. Him and his team have spent so much time speaking with the judges, trying to understand what the judging regulations are like now, and he's driving exactly to it. This is a phenomenal run from Chris Forsberg at the lead. And then in the chase, just not seeing Thorn get that commitment in. It seemed like he was a little bit hesitant to really dive in and attack right off the initiation there. You start to see it, but he grips up a bit too much and shoots inside. Amazing job, though, from Thorn there to get back in. Doesn't do anything weird, just slows the car down a bit, falls back into the pocket, and then through the transition here with Thorn. I would have liked to have seen him just dive in at that part. A little bit hesitant, now he gets the aggression on. So Thorn's got to have that aggression, but all the way through the run. Right after the transitions, not halfway through the zone.
That contact might come into play there too. He snaps back, Thorn is there. He can't go anywhere there. So, and oh, look at this. Oh, Macon just claims, look at that. 17, 18, 19, 24. Handsome Rob down there. And again, Cork, Ireland, cheering him on. So again, I know Ireland's watching and the whole world is watching. So again, pure Cork, they're here in the building. All right, looks like Forsberg not going to take a look at his car. That's all good. Looks like he's going to pace him. But again, back to Forsberg's lead run. It just really highlighted on Thorn's kind of mistakes because Forsberg out front was so rock solid. Now Thorn really needs to elevate his game, and he's doing that. He's right there on that wall. Let's see him pass. Oh my gosh, across the nose. Forsberg still bathing in the smoke, but does, Thorn goes hard. That was a hard hit, and Forsberg was right there in tow. Let's make sure he's okay. You're seeing him move. Looks like he's fine. I mean, it looked like Thorn hit, and then Forsberg was just right there. He couldn't go anywhere. Yeah. He's just hobbling off. Tire's gone.
That's the inside barrel still in there.
Yeah,
wow.
Maybe tire DB'd, and that's what caused Thorn to go in.
Yeah, it's tough to say. There was definitely some front to rear contact at the transition point.
Holy cow, look at the wheel's gone.
He's riding on rotors right now. Jeez.
Yeah.
We talked about how aggressive Robert Thorn has gotten here. And I mean, this wasn't Thorn being aggressive. Really, he was driving a really good lead run, and then it was actually Forsberg who got overly aggressive in the chase. They made that contact at the transition point, and then that may have even spilled over into the rest of it.
I think Thorn hit and Forsberg was there. I mean, I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate here because you said, all right, on the when Forsberg was leading, you want Thorne to be aggressive. Forsberg was doing that, but let's see again. To me, knee-jerk, it looked like Thorne hit the wall and Forsberg couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's right here. So there's Forsberg getting real aggressive. That pushes Thorne a little bit offline. But then, yeah, you're right.
No, that's it. And I don't even think they hit, dude. I think, again, Forsberg, you got to think, how many times has Forsberg ran this damn track?
Well, how many times has Forsberg hit that dang wall?
Yeah, many times. Yeah, he's written off cars. I mean, the big initiation, that bank is absolutely unforgiving. Love Thorne, love his energy. He had some great driving last night. See, I mean, look at the front end of the Z doesn't even, I mean, looks brand new.
It does after, yeah.
Obviously Thorne, not there.
My only argument to that is it does look like Forsberg touched the rear end of Thorne in that transition point. Does that then push Thorne offline, or did Thorne have enough time to readjust the car before he hit the wall? That's how far back do you place the blame, right?
Absolutely. These are the scenarios that the judges are now analyzing. You know, here we are speculating and just assessing all the angles, and that's what the judges are analyzing right now. And that's why I just said and referenced Forsberg's front bumper. It looked clean.
Yeah,
and then also you got
transition, right?
Yeah,
like how much contact was made at the transition.
There's Becky, aka Queen Bee, on social media. That is James Dean's girlfriend, cheering him on, supportive lady. Got to hang out in Utah last weekend. We did Nitro Cross, announcing Nitro Cross in Utah, and that's currently on pause, the Nitro Cross Championship. Yeah. But Becky was part of that. But look at I'm seeing championship shirts, baby. I mean, they're just going for it. They are just absolutely owning it right now.
It's a lot of Ireland all in one place.
Yeah, a lot of Ireland in one place. Well said. So here's Forsberg taking a look. There's there's
Thorne.
Good
to see. Yeah, it's always good to see when
it's the gladiators, dude. I mean,
and
UFC, right? When you see the most recent fight in Utah, coincidentally, that dude was just beat up, but then hey, they'll dab it up afterwards. Hey, good fight.
Once it's all
broke my
over.
face.
Yeah, once it's all over. So it's this transition that it's the only thing I put into question, because you see Thorne's trunk now opens. I don't think there was enough there. I don't think there was enough contact to push Thorne offline. But that's the only argument that I would see at this point. So yeah, I mean, big hit. Glad both drivers are okay. Both cars definitely need some work.
Here's Forsberg, but I mean, again, watch. Like you said, I don't think that was significant enough. Even if he, does hit that back bumper, the car didn't react like it was off that much because, okay, it's a glance.
Yeah.
Why would if he goes this? Again, you can't see it right now, but if he goes from this side of the bumper, it would throw the car that way, not that way. And because he went in nose in, as opposed to if it was effective enough, he would have thrown more angle at it.
It would have backed it in.
And it would have backed it in.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Bill Nye, the science guy, or Mr. Wizard. I'm going my demographic.
Oh,
Mr.
okay,
Wizard.
Mr. Wizard. Yeah. No, it's definitely a Bill Nye kid. That's for sure.
Here's the RTR team. It's all smiles down there. Matt Marcoux and the whole RTR team. We're seeing championship shirts.
Chit chat with who? I got you.
And here come the scores between Thorne and Forsberg. And we're sliding left for three-time champion Christopher Forsberg and the NOS Energy Drink All New Z on GT Radial Tires. Nismo Auto Parts, of course. Chris Forsberg gets the win. Robert Thorne knocked out. And would love to talk to the judges. We got some cleanup here on aisle 2. And as all right, so as we are taking a look at the breakdown here. All right, so talking to Brian Eggert here. Brian, I heard you say it, you felt that was Thorne's fault.
Yeah, watching it, I mean, Forsberg's in the chase. They had a little bit of rubbing on the bumpers here in front of Interclip. It didn't look like enough to disrupt his car that far. I think what just happened was Thorne misplaced his car, and then it kind of just shot up into the wall. I mean, there was enough gap between the guys where I don't think Forsberg had time to truly react to it, but it wasn't the cause of him just crashing into him. So Thorne hits the wall, and then Forsberg comes in afterwards.
So, both of us, talking about Jacob and I, did it look like there was a glance? Because we didn't see.
Yeah, I think there was a small slight glance, but it didn't look like it really disrupted his line. I mean, Thorne's an amazing driver, and he's been hit before, and he stays in it. So he did good there by doing that. But I think he just kind of miscalculated his speed going into that outer zone, and it kind of bit him.
He overcooked it.
Yeah.
All right.
Because, Forsberg's lead was pretty good for the weekend. So, that's a a bar that he knew going in as the next lead car that he had to either better or do just as good as. So
and on camera is Vaughn Gittin Jr., who we had the contact with last night.
Exactly.
So so Vaughn Gittin Jr., a two-time champ himself, you know, boss man here, RTR, El Capitan. He's over there down in the pits, and we are just 2 battles away, or 1, and then James Dean to be your first ever 4-time Formula Drift champion here at the House of Drift. Don't go anywhere. We'll clean up the track, and the party continues here at Irwindale Speedway.
In drifting, everything's a mental game. If you're not focused, you're off your game.
Ryan Turk is back at it. He wants it.
Extreme performance racing, battle tested in Formula Drift for the last 4 years. XPR contains center-look additive technology, ultimate Z DDP wear protection, and superior high-temp performance. Pour purple, royal purple, the synthetic expert.
Drifting is not just a sport, it's culture, it's in our blood.
It's a fine line that you have to walk. You have to be able to adapt on the fly and be able to drive on your instinct.
Tires are what we live and breathe in Formula D. We couldn't do this without them.
All right, well, we are back here again. A little bit of cleanup still left to do, so let's throw down Cerise Taylor, who's with the boss man, RTR, El Capitan, 2-time FD champion, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Welcome back as well, Vaughn, for in competition. Cerise.
Thank you guys so much. I'm here with Vaughn Gittin Jr. Vaughn, you're a 2-time champion, and you're still in this. You've got your guy right behind us. He's about to make history. 4-time champion. How does this feel for you in the RTR program?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You know, 2 championships. I did it a decade apart, and James is 4 in like 6 years, if my math is correct, but maybe 7. But it's just unbelievable. You know, James is one of the most competitive people I've ever met in my life. His consistency, his passion, the way he carries himself is, it's just been an honor to be his teammate and obviously his team owner. And, you know, this year we set the goal that this was James's year to win a championship. You know, last year was his year to get acclimated with the team, the Mustang, and we earned it. And not just earned it, but it's dominating fashion. And I don't say that to brag. I say that to just express my pride of what we've earned as a team. It's not been as easy as it looks, and as the points stack up in this moment, internally, there's been a lot of trials and tribulations, you know, just a lot of challenges, and anything that is this great to earn feels so much better when you've had to fight for it. And so it's just an honor. You know, I've attracted such an amazing group of men and women that make our team up, amazing group of partners. Obviously our Ford Mustang, you know, back-to-back years. You know, this moment will make Ford the most have the most championships of any manufacturer of drifting of the last 20 years since the inception of the sport. So it's just an honor to be trusted by a manufacturer like that, and all of our fans is just, it's unbelievable. And yeah, I'm just grateful. I'm excited. It's crazy to be wearing my suit right now and then have to like take in this moment and then go jump in my race car and be the best I've ever been behind the wheel. So, but I'm pumped and grateful, and thank all of you for the love and support all year, because we couldn't have done it without that. You know, there's a lot. There's man, machine, there's team, and then there's you all. So thank you so much.
And not for nothing, I mean, you had Chelsea win last year. Now you're going to have James win this year. What does the future of your program look like?
Yeah, we're going to continue moving on. You know, this has been a great year of learning for Ben, which we knew this year was going to be exactly what it was. James, you know, we will be back next year. And I'm still undecided what my schedule is looking like, but I'm loving the sport. I'm still feeling extremely competitive. For me, it's just a time balance of like my family time, racing off-road, running business, and also enjoying my passions. And so, we're to be continued, but RTR is not going anywhere. Ford's not going anywhere, and you all can be guaranteed that these Mustangs will be on the track come Long Beach.
Well, both Ford and RTR, it's a beautiful combination of both drive and passion and good vibes. Guys, we're going to throw it back to you. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. A man of many words, Vaughn. Just say go, and you gotta love it, because you know like I say, he's a modern day Carroll Shelby, and some people, you know,
You definitely call.
I definitely do, but I think that's relative to this emerging motorsport and what's going on and where it's at and his partners, and he does such a great job, and I love him. You know, officiated his wedding and love him, and now his boys and his journey. So, and what's really cool is curating talent. One, calling James Dean and saying like, hey, I would love for you to come over, and then Ben Hobson, you know, tapping him on his shoulder, and you know, look at our defending champion. Ford's going back to back as far as, you know, Mustang championship. So it's, you know, again, mathematically it hasn't been locked up, but we'll get to that battle, talking about the championship, and after this battle. This gentleman, Nick Novak, won here last year. You know, and then Ryan Turk obviously got that victory earlier this year in Seattle, which again, that was very emotional for him. He loved to get back on top. So Nick Novak, and you know, kind of, you know, there was something that was brought up in the drivers meeting, maybe that kind of fed into style and stuff like that, and left foot braking. Was that relative to this?
I mean, to put it simply, drivers are starting to realize that, yes, going really fast is phenomenal. The faster we make these cars, the more aggressive we make the setups, the harder they're becoming to drive. So we're starting to see a bit of a change. You see this with Nick Novak, especially last year. We've seen it with Manoa this year, and we're seeing other drivers. Even, I want to point to Chris Forsberg's run. Not the fastest one, but very smooth. So we're seeing this kind of resurgence back to style, back to take the grip out of the car, make them easier to drive, and it's allowing for these amazing tandems. And that's what Nick Novak did last year. Perfect event. Amazing qualifying run, you know, I think it was mid-90s. Then comes in, and all these drivers who are overly gripped, who are not changing and adapting their car for the driver they're going against, were struggling to chase.
Yeah.
It was because the car was too tight. It was surging too much. Nick Novak, super smooth out front. Then he get in the chase, and he was still able to keep up with them. It wasn't like he got the doors blown off him. So look for that here. Look for that as he goes up against Ryan Turk. It'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting.
And taking a look here at, you know, you can see the point differential here. You know, Adam LZ, the highest ranked American driver, you know, obviously, you know, it's crazy to see Hiro Manoa in that top 5. Matt Field, Ryan Turk, you know, he obviously had that win. We talk about Simon Olsen, Dylan Hughes, Brandon Sorensen. Just, it's crazy to see this. Shanahan wanted to come in, wanted to get that Rookie of the Year, but Hiro Manoa showed up. Forsberg, Beecham, Jeff Jones, Ken Gucci, really cool collab by Huff and Gretty, as well as Lakaishu, Jonathan Hurst. He got hard in the wall. RCP, the variety of names and cars just goes on, and I think that just really needs to be celebrated.
Yeah, it's a really cool time in the sport where we see a lot of these young drivers coming in and not just driving well, but driving exponentially better than we ever thought they could. And that's really neat to see. And some of these drivers who've been established or day oneers are moving down the pack slowly. And it's, I mean, it can be tough to see for some people, like the OG days or back in the day. But for somebody who's, you know, grown up with a lot of these younger drivers, it's incredible to see how far we've come.
Yep, it is amazing, just the progression of, and I look at old videos when I get super excited and somebody's, halfway up the bank.
Yeah.
And now it's like, if you're not dragging bumper on the wall, you ain't it, dog.
Yeah, that's where we're at. That's the level.
That is exactly where we're at. Here we go. We're about to see this battle. Ryan Turk, Nick Novak, Ryan Turk in that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla, switching over to that bigger power plant. He's got the hot rod. He's got that small back bumper. Can he drag it? He got in a tussle with the wall yesterday, lost a wheel, but now he's going to shred some tires. Talking about the Nitto tires out back. Novak, talking about the Kenda tires. Looks like he does get that proximity. Then now, late in the game, kind of slides up high on the bank. Now transition that inner outside zone. Ryan Turk, look at that angle there. Looks like the car bit back. Novak taking a tighter line. Again, does have that proximity, but needs to just drop back into that pocket. That Rockstar energy drink pilot slams down with that hot hatchback, just like a bullfrog.
Yeah, like a bullfrog. Not what I thought you were going to say, but I'll run with it. Ryan Turk out front, looks good, nice and smooth. Nick Novak here does not quite time his initiation the way that he should have, and it caused him to have that lower line. But Turk out front, a couple of little wavering sections, but really fills the first outside zone. Love to see the angle that we see through that first inside clip. And then through this outside zone, Turk does get into the wall a little bit, caused a bit of a correction, pushes him out a little bit, and Nick Novak does do a decent job of being able to keep the same proximity and the same line through it. And then coming through that line, Turk goes really deep through our last outside zone, that third outside zone, taps that absolutely tiny rear bumper as they go across the line. So Nick Novak doing a pretty good job there in the chase. You see here, Turk just gets in the wall a little bit. That little, especially in that first section of the second outside zone, the way it kind of juts out, it will push you offline quite quickly. So you have to be careful getting too deep into that. You kind of want to sink into it. It's like, it's not a dive into bed. It's like when you slide into bed.
It's not when you're ready, done with the day, and you do the kick in the bed.
No,
It's
like brand new silk sheets, and you just mold into it. That's what you want.
Are we selling sheets now? Like Bed Bath? We're the Beyond ad now? Bed Bath & Beyond?
Yeah,
okay.
All
right, here we go. Speaking of Beyond, let's go beyond the zone, the outside zone of Nick Novak. That Kenda Tires BMW. Good. Wow, look at that. He taps. Oh, no! Turk taps, and it sucks him up. The Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla gets sucked up and eaten by the wall. Nick Novak in the lead. Oh, we got tires. We got, holy cow. Pets' heads are falling off. Cats and dogs living together. We lost tires.
All right.
So this, I think it's going to default. Yeah, it's Irwindale. Well said, Ryan Montaigne over here. It's Irwindale. Tires coming off. Holy cow.
So this opens up to a debate that's gone on for years about the lead car leading a chase driver into an accident. This has happened several times. This has happened in Irwindale in particular quite a lot. And what we're going to look at is, did Nick Novak lead the chase car into the wall? It's going to take a bunch of different replays to really understand how that all went. Both cars did not complete their runs. Ryan Turk in the chase did not complete first, but Nick Novak obviously didn't make it through as he also debeated. So very interesting way that this finishes up, and you can see just how much damage that Corolla has taken. I mean, very hard to get out of the wall once you're into it. So Papadakis' team hopefully able to get jumped onto that, but let's take a look at the replay here. So Nick Novak out front, big swing, initiating super early, swinging that out. And you can see here he is fighting to correct, and in almost the exact same spot that Nick Novak touched the wall. So
did he lead him in?
And that's what I'm getting at is like, there's so many different ways to look at that, but really to whittle it down to two. Are they independent accidents, or did Nick Novak go offline? Turk tries to follow the same line, and they hit in the same spot.
Did Novak potentially even DB? That's why the car shimmied. That threw off Turk. That goes in there. Then he loses the tire over here. I'd love to. Can we get that back right wheel camera and just zero in on that? Like we have the technology, and that's. I mean, watch it again. Watch the attitude of the car. So Nick initiates, locks it up. So boom, hits. He straightens. Turk adjusts.
Nick's already DB'd.
Nick's DB'd there. So I think he DB'd there. Then he transitions, and then it leaves the chat room.
Yeah.
And so watch the car again.
I look at if.
I think he DB'd it there.
Okay. Well, I think.
And then it caused him to hit.
I think he DB'd it when he definitely hit the wall.
I think he DB'd it prior, and that's why he hit.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what I'm kind of deducing, and that disrupted him. And so so the scenario is, as far as judging, it would if it's a double incomplete, Turk makes a mistake, regardless of the debeating. Look, Turk's already out of the car, taking a look. This car is taking a licking, man. To quote Matt Hoffman, the famous BMX legendary, right? If you don't put your body in the ground, bruised, battered, broken, did you really live? And like I feel like that's these cars here, man. This how we are here in Irwindale. But so again, back to judging criteria. If this is both basically a double incomplete, we would default to this run right here. As we look at the United States Air Force replay, Turk, solid lead run. Walk us through it, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean it really was a great lead run, except this point where Turk did hit the wall. Nick Novak goes to the same spot. Now Nick is on the exact same line again, starts to supersede it a little bit. So then it really comes back to this run as to whether or not one person is going to move on or the other. But yeah, if we have there's a few different scenarios here, because if we get an at fault, that may also play into this second run. In my mind, it does look like Nick Novak kind of led Turk into the wall, but you could look at it as two independent things. It was in a very similar space that they both hit the wall. So Turk's job is to follow the chase car, or follow the lead car, I apologize. And in this case, he did. He followed him into a not so great place.
I followed him in the danger zone. Kenny Loggins, dude. Kenny Loggins in danger zone. And you could see Nick Novak, no tire is more like it. He had no roof, no tire. And now here he is. So we have a verdict here. Going either slide him left to Ryan Turk or right to Nick Novak. Would love to hear from the judges. Reese, Robbie, and Ryan Turk gets the win. Reese, Marin, let me hear it from you, Peanut Butter Cup. Reese?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Reese, Peanut Butter Marin. You can laugh, dude. Have some fun. We're having fun here. It's all serious. You guys are doing a great job. What was the scenario? What played out for you guys?
So ultimately what played out here is we can see that Novak is up on the wall. He's doing his lead run. He rotates into the wall. There is a D beat at that point. And then as we keep on going on through the rest of the run, we see, Turk doesn't really have any place to go at that point. You know what I mean? So based off of that, we don't have to go off of the second run at that point. We can see that it's been established. He D-beated, goes into the wall. At that point, it's just looking like that's it at that.
Okay. So essentially, Novak D-beated. His run is over. Turk didn't have to even finish that run. It just happened he did, and when he finished it, he hit.
And obviously Turk doesn't know it at that time, so he's just trying to do his best at that moment to keep on going.
Right.
But ultimately, we saw everything from the replay and everything we had to say. So
got it.
Turk keeps on going.
Yeah, Novak D-beated, and really that's kind of where the battle ended up stopping. So thank you so much, Reese. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, so taking a look at this. This is the moment of championship being crowned, and a champion making history for the first time ever. One step, one turn, one burn. James the Machine Dean, back to back to back, pre-COVID, and now once he pulls into that burnout box, warms up his Nitto tires, pulls to the line, he is your 2024 Formula Drift champion. James the Machine Dean, representing pure Cork, Ireland. Arguably one of the best drifters in the world, and this really solidifies him as one of the best. 20 previous championships. Now this is a 21st championship. Going against Daniel Stuckey, the battle is pretty much, I don't want to say irrelevant, but for the championship, it truly is. Your thoughts, Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about the greatest of all time, as you said, I really do think this is it. 6 Irish Drift championships, 4 OIDC. This would be potentially the 4th FD championship, 5-time Euro champion, 2-time DMEC champion. That is insane. This
bonkers.
There's no words. This is the greatest drifter in history.
Yep.
And we all get to witness this.
Love it. You gotta love it. And again, how again, it's basically him pulling to the line. That will solidify his championship. And I just love the powers coming together. Vaughn Gittin Jr., as I said, just this masterclass gentleman, a champion twice over for him. Going off-roading, just prioritizing his race strategy, his brand RTR, and tapping James Dean, 3 years ago, it says, come on over, dude, I got a car for you. He struggled last year in 2023, and now in 2024, he pulls to the line, and he is your 2024 Formula Drift champion. Mathematically, everybody is out, and James the Machine Dean is your 2024 Formula Drift champion behind the wheel of his right-hand drive AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. The fireworks go off. His teammates Ben Hobson, Von Ginn Jr. The championship shirts are on sale now. Buy them. The flags are waving. The Irish whiskey's flowing. The party continues. And there it is, the tall drink of water. That is James the Machine Dean, your first ever four-time Formula Drift champion, 17, 18, 19, and 24. Congratulations to him, his team. A year ago, he smashed that car on the wall, broke his collarbone, still podium. He comes back this year, podium, podium, podium. There's his pops, his mom, his sisters, his family. The celebration is on, the flags are out. Amazing. Running 3 cars or 2.5, given the split season of Von Ginn Jr. History was made right here, and the sun hasn't even gone down. The lights aren't even on, but fireworks are in the sky.
It's getting a little misty in here, Jared. Not gonna lie.
Yeah?
Getting a little misty.
That's awesome, man.
It's incredible to see how far our sport has come. It's incredible to see how a kid from the middle of nowhere, Ireland, that goes and experiences drifting for the first time, then becomes what he is today, and all the people he's inspired, how he has taken this small town and just made it into something, and drifting has created that. So it's just incredible to witness.
His driving in the wet, Ireland, not a dry country, and that paid off for him in Long Beach. The emotions were really high. He's just, I love James Dean, hanging out with him in Utah last weekend, him and Becky, and he was there supporting his girlfriend, and his girlfriend supporting him here. He's got sunglasses on because he's crying. He's a big baby, he's a softie. Look at Frederick Osbo, giving him his credit where credit is due. Down to you, Cerise. Cerise, congratulations to James Dean from all of us up here in the booth. James, congrats, you're the first ever 4-time Formula Drift champion.
I wish you guys could be here. There is so much love and excitement surrounding this man right here. Congratulations, you've just made history. You have your friends and your family on track with you. Just had fireworks go off. Explain to me what's going on behind the sunglasses.
There's a lot. Like, this means so much to me. As we were saying earlier today, 15 years. When I was a 15-year-old kid, I would never in my wildest dreams have believed that this was possible. And it's been, for me personally, having my parents here, my family here, this whole team out here this weekend, Becky here with me through every round that she could be here. It's just magical, and yes.
Oh, I'm going to bring her in. I'm going to bring in Becky as well. Becky, you have been here throughout the entire journey. I know that this is emotional for you as well. You are not only a driver, but you are a part of this world. What does this mean for you as his partner to see him win this championship?
It's everything. James puts so much into this sport. He dedicates his entire life to this sport. It's been his entire focus for, every day that I've known him. He wakes up, he eats, sleeps, breathes drifting, and to make this happen for himself, I can't wait for it to settle in and for him to accept it.
The Optima battery is sparking. Again, firing up. Pure cork, you see it there on the window. Again, Shell, we'll be out at SEMA. We'll be out at SEMA show doing some Shell activation out there drifting. Should be a good time. Anything else you want to add, man? I know I'm kind of just...
No, I'm just trying to take it all in right now. It's just cool that everybody in this building, everybody watching at home gets to be a part of this kind of history, and hopefully years from now, everybody here will look back on this day and be like, I was there. I remember the day that James Dean won his 4th FD championship.
What you said is getting a little misty in here.
Yeah.
Just thinking about your journey as well?
Yeah, just it's so cool where drifting has brought all of us.
That's cool. I like that. Here we go. James the Machine Dean, your 2024 Formula Drift champion, the first ever 4-time champion with a celebratory burning up tires here at the iconic track, Irwindale Speedway, the House of Drift. James Dean, your 24 champion. And there it is. What a textbook run for James the Machine Dean. Nerves were high. They had 2 rear end changes yesterday. They had gremlins within the vehicle, and again, just the way he started the season was sketchy. The car caught fire.
Yeah.
The team thrashed to get it back together. It looked like a baked marshmallow. And now he's got baked tires out back. What a crazy season. Emotional highs and lows across the entirety of it. And again, we've been coming here for 21 years, and every year it's just a different story. And some people thinks it's scripted.
You couldn't script this.
No, man, and we
way.
say that every year. So
no
congratulations to James Dean, Hobson bowing down. The Irish flag is flying the highest here today. But guess what? We still have round 8 of the Formula Gym Pro Championship, and who will come out on top? Wow, absolutely amazing. When we come back, the action continues here in the top 32, the Rockstar Energy Drink top 32. This is round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. I'm Jared Deanna, Jacob Gens against Cerise Taylor down there on the line. Thank you so much for joining us. The party continues. Again, we still have a lot of action. A champion's been crowned, but you want to win Irwindale. If you want to win a drifting competition, you want to win Irwindale. Type S, title fight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Is this it?
This is it! Passionate about a life in racing? Circle track, drag racing, drifting, or monster jam. Find it all at the University of Northwestern Ohio.
The passion here is very different than I've seen any other school. You guys set them up very, very well to succeed and to win in a big-time way.
The fact there's a school you can go to for racing is just a little bit insane, but it's very cool because it gives kids like me the opportunity to chase that dream.
See where your future can take you with a high-performance motorsports degree from the University of Northwestern Ohio.
If the first thing you think of when you see a pickup truck is this kind of hauling, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
So the next step was to get this thing on a proper ECU, especially with all the technology that Link has to offer.
Which should give us full communication and full control over all the sensors.
But so far, being able to log in and review every lap has been a huge plus.
To have Link pull through and step up for us and just help us out to be able to all pull it together.
That's all we need. Simple, cheap, easy, works, good ECU, weatherproof.
It's got enough IOs too, like we're doing tons of stuff. Oil, fuel pressure, boost control.
All those features I have thanks to the Link ECU.
I wish you guys could be here. There is so much love and excitement surrounding this man right here. Congratulations, you've just made history. You have your friends and your family on track with you. Just had fireworks go off. Explain to me what's going on behind those sunglasses.
There's a lot. Like, this means so much to me. As we were saying earlier today, 15 years. Like, you know, when I was a 15-year-old kid, I would never in my wildest dreams have believed that this was possible. And it's been, for me personally, having my parents here, my family here, this whole team out here this weekend, Becky here with me through every round that she could be here. It's just magical, and yes.
Oh, I'm going to bring her in. I'm going to bring in Becky as well. Becky, you have been here throughout the entire journey. I know this is emotional for you as well. You are not only a driver, but you are a part of this world. What does this mean for you as his partner to see him win this championship?
It's everything. James puts so much into this sport. He dedicates his entire life to this sport. It's been his entire focus for, every day that I've known him. He wakes up, he eats, sleeps, breathes drifting. and to make this happen for himself. I can't wait for it to settle in and for him to accept it and to go, do you know what, I did it. And he should be so proud of himself because everybody here is so proud of him as well. So get me off camera.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to wish your 2024 Formula Drift Championship winner a congratulations.
All right, so again, the emotions, just you know, as we were rewatching what went down there in the interview between James and just talking to, you know, his lady, and just everything, man, just really cool. And right there, that moment, we kind of got to collect our thoughts. And you know, you said you're getting a little emotional, man.
Yeah, just a little teary. Just, it's super cool to see. And you know, I remember when I first discovered drifting and how far it's taken me over the years.
Yep.
And it's just neat whenever we get to experience other people going through that. And you know, there's somebody in the stands right now that's watching, or somebody sitting at home right now that will be a champion.
Yeah.
And that it's stuff like that that really catches up with me, where I'm like, we don't know what's going to happen next year or tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, we do get to look back on this and be super excited and understand that at some point another person will be the next James Dean, which is wild.
Yeah, congratulations to James Dean, and again, his whole camp and the RTR camp. Really, really exciting run there. Again, he still has to do battle. He could still win this. He could still win the event. He could do it even more dominant fashion that he's been displaying here. Matt Field, Taylor Hull. And so Matt Field, Taylor Hull, we will go back to the battle between James Dean and Stuckey. And we are seeing Matt Field, look at this, we got a Corvette battle going down. Matt Field, that Borla exhaust, or excuse me, Borla performance. Heat wave visuals, lead customs. Looks like Taylor Hull diving in, kind of a straight line approach. The comp cams Corvette struggling here, drops down, just shimmies his way all over the cars, looking loosey-goosey. And Matt Field keeps it consistent in that second outside zone. Now he passes that inside clip, and textbook lead run there. Taylor really fighting the car.
Yeah, it was super weird. It's like he lost all side bite in the car. It was just kind of going everywhere. Really, really strange, which really sucks because Taylor's gone through a lot this weekend and getting an engine and everything else back dialed in, and then started looking really good in practice. But right there, something happens, tries to get back in the fight, has to bail out of it. But out front, I mean, Matt just throwing down a clinic right now. We're seeing so many of these drivers putting down these textbook lead runs. So as we start to get through these brackets, as we get later in the day, a few of these drivers we're seeing driving like that are going to go head to head, and whew, we're going to be in for it. I have no idea what the judges are going to do if everybody's driving like this, but yeah, really not sure what happened with Taylor Hull. It's tough to see the car just really getting wild, and it seems like he was trying to tame it. I thought he was going to shut it down at that point, but decides to get things sorted or try and see what's going on with it and push through the rest of the run. And it's Matt Field.
Yeah, and I did get a text from his spotter, also his wife. She said motor swapped and they wrecked in practice.
Yeah.
So obviously just, you know, not getting back and refamiliar with that. So it's, yeah, definitely a bummer. So yeah, here we go. So let's see what Taylor Hull could do out front in just that chase run, maybe with the clean air, a little more confident, and there it is. So you can see the car gripping up. I think Matt Field, my advice on the spotter, just take it easy. Don't get too aggressive. You don't want to get bound up. You don't want to get into the car after, again, seeing Taylor on the chase position. Looks like he's, stitching something together here, but it's just not going to be enough after that chase run, which is pretty much an incomplete in that chase.
Yeah.
So a good effort there by Taylor Hull, but the comp cams Corvette, just too many mistakes on his side, and Matt Field, textbook, he's going to advance on.
Yeah, Matt Field plays it very smart here, and it shows as he's driven more that, he's realizing I don't need to be aggressive, I don't need to be crazy every single run. You know that the chase from Taylor Hull was pretty much incomplete. There was opposite drift in there, and just wasn't great. So the spotter definitely in his ear saying, hey, chill out, relax, leave a couple of gaps, and just make sure that you get the run complete and bring it home in one piece.
Yep. Keep the car strapped together. You can see the Lean Customs on the roof there. Also, Lean Customs is selling some Sapline. There's some rad pins, as well as an RTR Championship pin as well over at the Lean booth. I don't know if they're going to be online, but check out Lean. Matt Field gets the victory and gets the win, advances on to the 16. Taylor Hall, Comp Cams, Edelbrock, Koenig Wheels. He is knocked out. That is going to be the culmination of his season for the whole family. And looks like we are seeing that of Jeff Jones, or is that Ken Gucci? Excuse me, no, Jeff Jones. Jeff Jones and Vaughn Gittin Jr. So speaking of RTR.
This will be a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm expecting Jeff to just go hard. Just knowing Vaughn, he was feeling it yesterday. He says, I'm feeling great, like riding a bike. He's back.
Yeah, and Jeff Jones, I mean, he did take out James Dean. That is something I think he's going to put on his gravestone, that he beat James Dean. And he really, I mean, his driving's gotten so much better. He does drive against, some of the best drivers we have here. He drives really, really well against them. There's a confidence that he gains going against somebody like that. Vaughn going whole hog in seating yesterday, just driving it like he's got spare parts. It's the end of the season. They're going to rebuild it anyways. So I expect to see Vaughn the same way, very aggressive. He's got nothing to lose and nothing to prove. So
yep.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
He just wedges himself in there, chops things up, comes back, really surprises a lot of people. So we are seeing Jeff Jones again, another Evo Auto Works vehicle here from right down the freeway in Redlands, California. Here we go, Jeff Jones, Big Drift Energy, Hot Pit, Curator, and look at that good angle. Look at Vaughn Gittin Jr. Oh, he drives really fast, and he falls down. Looks like the car is reacting improperly, now transitioning into that second outside zone. And Jeff is on it. This is exactly what I anticipated, but did not anticipate Vaughn Gittin Jr. having these little mistakes here and there. Looks like he's fighting the car. Maybe, again, you have to drive that car 100%, full throttle, and it looks like the car bit back.
Yeah, tons of commitment there. And right at the end there, Vaughn looked like he might have straightened out before the finish. We'll have to check that in the replay. But yeah, look at Jeff Jones, just solid, not all the way to the wall through the entire thing, but really, really good. And then Vaughn just struggling. I do think we're talking about this before. Guys starting to take the grip out of the car. Look at the angle that Jeff Jones gets from the inside cliff. Maybe not as fast as other drivers out there, but very smooth, filling all the zones, hitting the line, doing what he needs to do. And right here, look, Vaughn almost looks like he just completely shuts it down and bails out at the end of the run. And you can see Vaughn very much fighting to keep that car under control. The RTRs are so aggressive. They're so lit up. And Jeff just, took a little bit out of it and made it smooth, made it easy to drive, and it makes for a very flowy, a very nice to watch lead run.
Yep, yeah, it was just, again, just kind of set in motion. This reminds me kind of what we saw earlier with Forsberg and Robert Thorne, where Forsberg just had this good textbook, clean run, tidy, tucked in, again, back to the bed analogy, just tucked in the sheets, made the bed, all good.
Yep.
Vaughn Gittin Jr. just went in there and like he was in Motley Crue and just kind of partied out back and just doing his own thing. But unfortunately, it really highlighted the mistakes he made because Jeff's lead run was so tidy.
Yeah, we're seeing Vaughn looks like taking the helmet off, which is never a great sign.
We saw a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, I don't think they ended up having to use it, but curious what all is going on now.
Love the livery. The car looks great. Again, Vaughn, kind of a lot of attention on James Dean. Some great words between him and Cerise talking about the championship. And looks like suited and booted. See him taking a look. Starters, seeing what's going on here.
Yeah, not entirely sure. We'll hear from Ops. Got a thumbs up, so that's always a good sign.
Oh, looks like Vaughn is actually calling a competition timeout. So he's saying that the clutch is not 100%. So
okay.
Yeah, just on how wound up those cars are. Seems like it's always they always have NOS issues, nitrous issues.
Yeah, there's I could really nerd out as to what's all going on there. There's a bunch of different ways to handle nitrous flow, which is how much nitrous they're putting into the system. There's a bunch of different ways to do it, but one of the ways is basically fluttering the solenoid, turning it on and off a whole bunch of times. And the amount of times that you flutter that solenoid in one run of Formula Drift is the equivalent to an entire season of drag racing.
Wow.
So things wear out, things get broken down. They're wearing through these parts like crazy. And it's nothing against any of the brands or anything that does it. We just, in drifting, we put stresses on mechanical parts like nobody has ever done.
Right.
And yeah, it's just it's something that this car very heavily relies on. Some cars go with superchargers, turbochargers. Nitrous is another way to do it. And just like losing boost pipes or losing belts, it is just part of running that type of power adder and something you have to watch out for. And I mean, RTR has figured out a lot of things, and every once in a while, just a gremlin pops up.
Our RTR&D, ready to rock and develop.
Yeah, they do. I mean, there are things that RTR has developed over the years that are now mainstream when it comes to drifting. And yeah, we owe a lot to the things that they've done, especially with the Mustang chassis.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So all right, as we are advancing on, if you have not seen it, Torque Drift, the online game, download it now, as Torque Drift 2 is just dropped a new game update loaded with brand new features and content. Update introduces a new drift skills mode, dedicated multiplayer servers, animated car dashes and dials, backfires, burbles, improved physics, and a new tire compound. So players can now explore the lobby browser, drone mode, and fresh layouts on Daikoku. Plus, there's the Mazda RX-3 Coupe 180SX and Liberty Walk, top secret body kits. I mean, the game update's phenomenal. So again, download it for free on the Epic Games Store, and soon on stream, or head on over to torquemotorsport.io. Torque Drift 2, out now. We'll be right back.
Is there an argument about whether pumice or walnut shell is the best abrasive in your hand cleaner? Not anymore. Fast Orange Premium brings the two abrasives together in one great heavy-duty hand cleaner that includes advanced skin protection. It's our best hand cleaner ever, and that's why we simply named it Premium. Fast Orange. We know a few things about cleaning hands.
Welcome to the streets of Long Beach. Look at that. It is a beautiful day here in Southern California.
K&N is back for another year as the official air filter of Formula Drift.
If the first thing you think of when you see a pickup truck is this kind of hauling, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
The final touch to my dream build is a Sony Mobile ES system. Time to cruise with Sony Mobile ES.
In drifting, everything's a mental game. If you're not focused, you're off your game.
Ryan Turk is back. He wants it. That's right, we are back. And look at that, the fans just baking in the sun. It's a little warm today.
A little warm.
A little swarm for you. A little shawarma. Ooh, shawarma. Meat. So it's interesting that the team down there, you know, as elated as they are, you know, they I guess having clutch issues. Vaughn was like, we're done. Give it a throat chop. Team's like, hold on. We might be able to fix it. Give us a comp timeout. We're allowed it. So, all right. You know, serotonin dump, adrenaline high. James Dean, your champion. Woosa. Breathe. You know, like now James Dean's got to do comp, and he's going against Stuckey. He's no pushover. I know you love that car, the capabilities, the lightness of it, the technology. They're doing some fun things. Him and Casey Cole developing that M-Spec car. But look, going against James Dean, you know he's riding high right now, man. He is just buzzing, mate. You know what I mean? Pure cork.
Yeah, and you got to quell that. You got to calm yourself down and realize you still got the rest of the event to do. And I mean, Stuckey, how cool would it be to like knock him off his throne, 32 right off this? So there's definitely something in it for Stuckey. There's a lot of motivation right now, and maybe we'll see a Stuckey like we've never seen before.
All right, Stuckey like we've never stooped before.
We've never stooped before.
Never stooped before. It's a great song.
It's a great song.
I wanna Stuckey all over. M-Spec Performance S15 chasing down the 2024 Formula Drift champion, James the Machine Dean. And look at that, just pulling away. Like I said, the confidence is high. He's got that pressure off his shoulder. The car is capable. We saw that celebratory run. Stuckey, a little early transition, throws him off, straightens out. James Dean looks like he, again, right on pace. Exactly what you anticipated from James Dean. Confidence in his corner, the Mustang running good. Stuckey crawls the rest of the course, and the champion shows you why he is there.
Yeah, not sure what happened on Stuckey's front. It looked like when he went to transition out, the car died. That was it. There was really nothing on the go. So we'll have to go back and take a look at that. It was just at the transition point is when things just went awry for him. But James Dean, very classic initiation for him, getting on throttle super early, gets that left foot brake to get the car settled. Stuckey starts to get into the pocket here, really starts to make his dive up, and then it almost looked like the car shut down even before the transition. I don't know, maybe if he popped out of gear or missed a shift or something along those lines. It's just very weird, but James Dean, textbook all the way through the rest of this run, filling all the zones. You know, looked like he just touched the bumper there. I really don't know how you can slow this man down. What's left to do for him?
Again, arguably, or not arguably, I don't know why we say that. One of the best drifters in the world. Nobody's arguing that.
Yeah, no one's arguing.
Nobody's arguing about being one of the best drifters in the world.
Yeah.
James. Here we go. Daniel Stuckey, he needs to throw down a heater of a run. Otherwise, James Dean, as we said, 4-time champ, is going to advance on. Stuckey, a little low on the bank. Look, you can see kind of James Dean tiptoeing to the side of that S15. He'd need to make a major mistake in order for Stuckey to advance on. Good job in that second outside zone. And James right there, just really twisting the screws on it. Boom, there it is. James Dean gets it done. Easy peasy. Great effort by Daniel Stuckey on that lead run. But again, the mistake in the chase shortens it up. And unfortunately, Stuckey's going to be packing it up.
Yeah, and I think something that we need to keep an eye on, especially with James Dean and a few other drivers, right-hand drive car. We forget about that really quickly, and that means that during this first outside zone, he's on the inside, he's got a direct line, he's able to kind of keep the car out of the smoke. Through this transition, things are going to be a little bit more difficult for him. He's able to push a little bit deeper, but Stuckey, great lead run. It sucks at what happened in the chase there because this looks really good. Stuckey's got it dialed. There's a couple of points online that I'd like to see him go deeper into the zones, but very stable, very fluid all the way through it. Just not enough when you've got that big of a mistake. You can see just the way Stuckey's able to get the car going here. A couple little bobbles, but settles it in. Looks really nice. And James Dean doing what James Dean does.
Right. All right. And James Dean, right him in. We're almost halfway there.
Yeah, we are. See? You're on board. Almost halfway there.
We're not. We're literally not even at the halfway point.
Always the optimist.
Yeah. Who? You or me?
Me.
Oh, okay. You're the most humble guy you know.
Humblest guy.
I beg to differ. I'm way more humble than you. Here we go. James the Machine Dean advances on. Daniel Stuckey knocked out. So it is unanimous. Easy peasy, chicken greasy. clutch kick. Here we go. Jeff Jones, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Don't know if Vaughn is able to even run, but Jeff has, I would say, an advantage just giving those runs, and Vaughn is out. So again, Vaughn called it. He says, we're done. There's no way. He was having those issues, but hey, Jeff Jones stoked. Look at that. Like you said, it's going to be on his tombstone. I beat 4-time champion James Dean. I beat 2-time champion Vaughn Gittin Jr. Look, how poetic would that be? That look. I mean, how cool would that be if he won here in Irwindale?
That
would be epic.
He'd have to get,
he'd have to
potentially get through James Dean.
Or Matt Field and then go, I mean, we got a lot of day left. We got a lot of night, a lot of drifting, a lot of tires being burnt, but guess what? We got Rockstar Energy Drink to keep it going. Here we go, the Evil Auto Works. Big Drift Energy, Prisma, Nissan 370Z, Jeff Jones, Leon Listen, advancing on to the top 16. Getting super pitted there. When the wave breaks here, don't be there. All right, so there it is. We're taking a look at James the Machine Dean. We're getting some more Shell fuel. Right-hand drive, number 130. Shelby, one of the few female technicians on the team there. We were talking about her, actually my son and I were talking about Shelby. She's always thrashing. I feel like because she's a female, she has to work double hard, so nobody's like, oh, you got a girl on the team? That's cool. But she busts her, she busts her back, dude. She is out there. So
she's always crushing it.
Yeah, she is. So there we are. The yellow names, they advance on. Talking about Odi Bakshis, James Dean, Jonathan Castro, Matt Field, Chris Forsberg, Ryan Turk, and Jeff Jones. Oh, look at that. Chris Forsberg versus Ryan Turk in the 16. That's going to be a good battle. Again, OGs. There's Ben Hobson turning off the clock. Again, Hobson looking forward to seeing what he can do. We'll see him out at SEMA show. There's Kevin Wells, star of Kevin's Corner. Hey, we got the fans there. Got the LZ hats. And we got cars on the line. Let's go. Let's send it. Yo. Kazuya Taguchi versus Kenshiro Gushi.
We got this.
The Neanderthal in the house, baby.
Neanderthal. Where it all started, baby.
That's where it all started. Yeah. Ryan Sage mispronounced these guys' names, and I made fun of him, of Ryan, but yeah, it was great. Anyways, Kazuya Taguchi initiates. Ken Gushi in the chase position. Great job there by Kazuya Gushi. And that Gretty threes racing transition. He's falling back quite a bit. And now going into that second outside zone. Nice job by Kazuya Taguchi. Gushi kind of struggling here in that chase.
Yeah, Gushi was throwing, he was throwing more angle in the chase than what we saw in the lead from Kazuya Taguchi, and I think that's what created some of these issues. So once we whip it back around on the Air Force replay, let's see here. Kazuya Taguchi lights off early, gets that initiation that looks really good, but a couple of little bobbles, some hesitation there. And then Ken Gushi in the chase, starting to dial things in. Taguchi doesn't have as much of the angle as I'd like to see and kind of takes a straight line approach to that section. That's where we see Ken Gushi adding a bunch more. So it actually looks like Kazuya, the car's pretty gripped up and he doesn't have a ton of angle, which is kind of strange for him. He's a driver that we know, really driving with that Japanese style, the big angle, the big floaty transitions, and we don't see that from Kazuya Taguchi on this run. Ken Gushi, though, in the chase, a little bit more angle, a little bit more fluidity, but just not as fast. So it means he's, further back. Now, that being said, in the chase, you do want to mirror what the lead car is doing, and Ken Gushi doesn't really do that here. You can see Kazuya, he needed more angle through inside clip line. He just tried to run away from Ken Gushi on that, and that may come into his favor depending on how this next set of runs go, but it may hold it back. The judges will see that, and when it comes down to the lead run, as long as Ken throws down it doesn't even have to be a heater. He's got to throw down something stylish. We will probably see Ken take a bit of an advantage in the lead.
All right, well, calling it out. Shots called. Mr. Gens, let's see what we got. Ken Gushi out front. Got the clean air. He's got that 2J power plant. He's feeling a lot more confident. And Kazuya Taguchi right there to the side. Oh, we got contact. Kazuya Taguchi gets inside of Gucci, but he keeps on keeping on. So again, an aggressive Kazuya Taguchi that might have ended up biting him. And look at Gucci, unfazed, absolutely unaffected. But Kazuya trying to push him around the up garage ISR performance vehicle. But Gucci, dude, like flicking a mosquito off him, man. Said, nope, not today. Ken Gucci staying consistent.
Yeah, this is exactly what we talked about. One car being very gripped up with a lot of forward bite, and another car a little bit more stylish. Ken Gucci's car not nearly as fast as Kazuya's, and you can see Kazuya just fighting to keep the car back from hitting Ken Gucci. Now Ken able to add a bit more, not as much angle once again through that inside clip. We need the drivers to really huck it through there. And then Ken Gucci very flew to the second outside zone, while Kazuya just struggles to have the car at angle. He's fighting to hold it back. That is the difference here. So when you run a car that is a lot more gripped up, you are able to run away. But the downside is when you get into the chase, you start to push like this. We already see the judges asking for a side-by-side. So this is what we're going to see. We've got two of the same chassis, but two very different setups in these cars, different power plants. There's a lot different. I'm curious what we'll be able to glean from this side-by-side when we start to break this down.
Oh, yeah. I was really impressed on how Gucci just stayed in it. That was very, very impressive.
Especially a front wheel on front wheel contact. We talk about it a lot. It has a tendency to tear the steering wheel out of your hands. So even if you're, even if you're stable, that front wheel on front wheel can really mess things up.
Yeah, here's that side-by-side breaking down what you're talking about, what Gucci needs to do in order to get the victory.
Yeah, so if you keep the leads the same, you're really looking at the chase. Ken, through that first section, does a good job, a little bit more consistent, where Kazuya was way too aggressive, at least in my opinion. Through the second outside zone, Ken's a little bit further back. Kazuya's got more proximity. And if we start to look at line, I would say Kazuya's on a tighter line, but with more proximity, whereas Ken was on not quite of as much proximity, but a more similar line to what we saw with Kazuya. I'm just happy I made it through that whole thing without getting him confused.
Yeah.
That was a tongue twister.
Yeah, Kazuya Taguchi, Kenshiro Gucci. All right, slide him left for Kazuya, right for Kenshiro, and it looks like there it is. And couldn't agree more. Kenshiro Gucci gets the win in his Gretty Matti's Toyota GR86. I know Rutledge is watching, and he's tuning in, fellow Toyota ambassador. So let's throw it down to Cerise Taylor. Cerise, what's cooking?
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I am here with the parents of James, Dean, Julianne, and Mike. What was it like raising somebody who's now grown to be a 4-time champion? I'm going to go to mom first. It's very emotional. I know there's a lot of thoughts running through your head. You said he was very into farming growing up. And you yourself are a retired rally driver. What values do you think you were able to instill in him in order to get him to this point?
I think the whole house was involved in motorsports since he was a baby. So it was easy for him to settle in.
Yeah,
but he started driving very, very good at maybe 6.5, 7 years of age. So then I knew we had something special.
Yeah.
And he progressed from there.
Do you have the moment when you knew that this was going to be something that he was going to pursue?
Definitely. When he won his first event in 2007 in the Pro Championship in Rose Green in Tipperary in Ireland. And I knew there was something special that day. We got the aroma, or there was something. And but we never thought it would really go to this level, and we were extremely grateful to everybody that helped us along the way, and especially James, because he works very hard all the time. I don't know, does he ever rest at all, to be honest, but I'm hoping that this will be now he'll enjoy, and but he really appreciates everything. And I just want to say thanks to RTR and especially JR for believing in him since he was 16, I'd say, when he's seen him or whatever. And we're very thankful for that, for all his team, for anyone that ever worked with him along the way from the very beginning. Dalton Tires, I always mention them because they gave him his first sponsorship to Falcon to the present day, and we're very, very grateful for that.
Yes. Well, from our FD family to your real family, we just want to say congratulations to all who are involved, and thank you so much for being here. I know it means a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Cerise. Love Mom and Dad Dean. They're so sweet. And she was at a loss for words, and then you get her talking, she can chat it up. Love it. Love the energy. Congratulations to the Dean family. And again, I know, again, truly international. Shout out to the DMCC champion, Yuri Levesque, your 2024 DMCC champion. He's in the building cheering on. Again, that's just how international it is. This is the House of Trip, baby. Don't go anywhere. The party continues. Round 8, the Type S Ding Ding title fight. Don't go anywhere.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
On race day, when we want to show everyone out there who's the best,
Here we go, Frederick Osborne.
we really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Osborne.
You like watching things get broken? Like barriers, glass ceilings, and records. Then this playoff season, we're looking for you.
Join us at Toyota Racing.
Is this it?
This is it!
We are officially halfway through. There we go. Section 1 got the Irish flag. So we are officially more than halfway through because we are finding out that Rudy Hansen is out. So Frederick Osbo will advance on. Freddie pulls the line. So Rudy Hansen unfortunately having some issues. Don't know exactly what happened, but we're hearing some other murmurs that Forrest Wang is out. He's got, they call it sparkly oil.
Yeah. You know
that
what?
means metal shards?
Yeah,
unicorn oil?
Yeah.
10W, oh no. That's I don't mean to make light of it, but yeah. And you were saying that's a new engine too, so
yeah.
Unfortunately for Forrest Wang, but right now it's all Frederick Osbo, again a 3-time champion himself. He'd love to finish, with the silver trophy. Talking about second or third, because currently in the standings he's currently second, right?
No,
excuse me, third.
Yeah.
Third. Yeah, he's 130 points behind. The leader that's coming into this round of competition. Odie Bakshi's currently sits in second, so that's another topic of conversation. Finishing out the season with what we call the big heavy trophies. They're carbon fiber through the entirety of the season, but the championship trophies are big metal, chrome, shiny and chrome. Witness me as obviously James Dean gets the biggest one, and Odie Bakshi currently sits in second. Frederick Osbo sits in third, and crazy enough, Hira Manoa currently sits in fourth. He's got the green R next to his name, Rookie of the Year. So
yeah,
he's got that. He's got that because Shanahan is way back there in 11th. So congratulations to Hira Manoa, 14 years old, Rookie of the Year.
I would love to know if a rookie. I guess there's been Diego Saito came in and did.
Diego Saito?
Diego Saito.
The Spanish Japanese guy? Yeah. Diego Saito?
That's the history of rookies, but.
Yeah. All right, so currently sitting 10th right now, Brandon Sorensen. Dan Burkett, he got into a tussle with the wall earlier. He was following Castro, went to the wall, and there were three corners that he banged up. His wife, his spotter, Renee, came in and said, he's pretty banged up. Toe alignment, they're really kind of throwing caution to the wind here with, always a stylish, looking vehicle, but the wall, again, always wins. So hopefully they got it back together, see if he can hold it together. But Brandon Sorensen, he has been on it. So Brandon Sorensen will lead the United States Air Force BMW. The young buck, his sister Amanda Sorensen, the first ever female to podium in Formula Drift. And their brother, 13-year-old Cam Sorensen, just got his license from the Colorado Pro-Am sanction body. Here we go. Brandon Sorensen initiating the car, very settled. Look at that. That's what, the Burketts were talking about. Wrong side, center punches, just fighting the car. You can see it's so unfortunate for Dan Burkett because Sorensen is just, and this is look at that. He's knocking him around, but it's going to be too late. Brandon's he's dialed.
Yeah, he's super dialed. He's looking very comfortable. He's looked very comfortable all the way through practice as well. So this is basically a continuation of what we've seen since practice yesterday. Car looks good. Car looks stable, nice and clean. Rad Dan, as we talked about, when you take that much damage, you can do your best to align the car, but things are moving around and shaking, and suspension points get moved when you hit the wall that hard. So he's doing basically the best he can. Obviously gets a little too aggressive there, but Brandon Sorensen is not a driver who ever backs out when there's contact. We've seen him get into it with a few drivers over this season, and always able to put his foot down and drive through it. But yeah, Brandon Sorensen, just very fluid all the way through it, and I expect him to do quite well in this event, just the way that he is driving, because he does have a lot of aggression as well through that inside clip. Gets back on throttle very early and really drives through that section. So very aggressive. Has a lot of angle through that area and is able to keep the speed. So for drivers having to chase him, that becomes very difficult. It basically becomes a game of chicken with the wall. Yeah.
Fighting the car, and he was, if you have not met Rad Dan, or if you haven't seen his videos, really mellow dude. When he hit that wall, he went from Rad Dan to Mad Dan.
Yeah.
And that's what the judges, and I wasn't there to witness it, but that's what everybody's saying is I haven't seen a Dan like that ever.
And maybe this sounds bad. Maybe that's what he needs to do.
Okay.
He needs to get angry. There are drivers out there who drive significantly better when they're really mad.
Yeah, they're seeing red.
Yeah.
Inside out too. Hey, you're angry. Can I see?
Yeah, exactly.
Or you seem really content. Can I get Anger up here? Can I talk to Anger real quick?
Anger for a second.
Let's go Mad Dan.
Yeah.
Let's go full Mad Dan right now. Again, like I said, witness me. He's got the chrome. It's shiny and chrome. He's got it. Let's see if we can witness him going advancing on past Brandon Sorensen. He's going to need to put down a really good run, and just right out of the gate, you see again that left foot brake tapping. You see the foot wheel stopping. Brandon Sorensen. Look at the hands, very calm, very steady. That looks like a video game right there. It's Justin Smash chasing him down, and I don't think that's going to be enough because Brandon set it and forget it. Well done in that United States Air Force 2-1-2 performance. BMW. It looked decent out front, but just too many mistakes in that chase run from Rad Industries, Rad Dan Burkett. Love the guy, love the family, just cool people all around. But Brandon, unstoppable, unflappable.
Yeah, and really, if Rad Dan would have gotten the first part of this first outside zone cleaned up, this was a really solid lead run for him. Obviously, he's fighting some suspension points that are not in the correct place. Look at the amount of angle through that inside clip. That's what I'd love to see everybody do. And then looks really good through the second outside zone. Brandon probably getting more aggressive than I would have told him to, but he's willing to risk it. There's a good chance that he could have gotten into a bit more contact with Rad Dan through that section and created a bigger issue, but able to dial things back. But yeah, huge shout out and kudos to Rad Dan. Love the way that he's keeping things going, coming off that hiatus, comes back with a big smile on his face, has a rough day today, but able to push through. And if you get a chance, stop by their booth. Really cool people down there.
High five, handshake, fellow Floridian with the Canadian boy, the Canadian, I don't know.
The media guy?
You.
Oh, he's, yeah.
I'm talking about you, dork. Brandon Sorensen gets the win. All right, so Brandon Sorensen advances on. High flying Sorensen. Throw it down to Cerise Taylor, who is with Odi Bakshis.
Thank you, guys. Yes, you heard it. I am here with Odi Bakshis. Odi, I would love to get a beat check, a little pulse check here about Irwindale, what this track is like, and I would love for you to give some technical expertise on what these drivers are dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, it's our last round of the season, so everyone goes pretty hard. And at the same time, everyone's trying to like soak it in, right? It's like, man, this is it. This is gonna, after this is a long break. A lot of work going into next season, so let's enjoy it before we pack the cars up and tear them freaking all the way apart. But the drivers are dealing with changing conditions. We practice, and top 32 right now is in the beautiful sun, and it's a little hot. And then at nighttime, it's way cooler, and the track changes a lot. And visibility changes, but the grip level change is insane. So that's what the drivers are dealing with, and every driver has a different approach, different line, different pace. So that compounded with different track conditions and walls everywhere, there's not much runoff, it becomes a little challenging.
Yes, and as an owner of a program, you're always thinking about other drivers, but what are you dealing with? What's your approach for everything that you just described?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about, okay, what am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to go with Jonathan Castro in top 16, but at the same time, Simon Olsen's about to run, right? So I'm thinking, okay, let's watch that. If anything happens, I'm going to have to make sure everything's good. I got really good guys that are like managing that, you know, any damage control to his car or anything like that, but ultimately I have to always be around, and if things have to go either this way or this way, sometimes I got to make the call. So yeah, a little bit of weight on my shoulders, but at the same time, if Simon does well and kicks ass, we could continue sharing data throughout the whole round, throughout the whole event, and that's freaking awesome. That's like one of the perks of having multiple drivers.
Absolutely, and we're about to watch Dylan Hughes go out with a bye run. You can undercut this. It's going to be an amazing rest of the day. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to soak everything in the rest of the day. Just enjoy the rest of the day, rest of the evening. I think everyone here is going to be in for a treat for a really, really good round. Everyone's on it, man. Every year it's just crazier and crazier on this track.
I agree. I completely agree. All right. Well, thank you so much for the pulse check. Get out there. Go get second.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The pulse check. That was the pulse right there.
Ooh, it's a new segment.
Yeah.
Pulse check with Cerise.
Pulse check. We are looking at Dylan Dozer Hughes, that royal purple BMW. He was intended to go against Forrest Wang, but he's not Wang Chung. And tonight, unfortunately, he's got flake in his oil like Dylan's got flake in his paint. So Dylan, the Dozer Hughes, the royal purple GT radial BMW is advancing on into the 16.
That was a heater of a run, too.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Cool, calm, collected. Dylan Hughes. In a world where one man, one BMW.
I was saying yesterday how much he's looking like his dad. Not that it's a bad thing. His dad, good looking man. I was just like, dude, you are.
Dude, relax. He's married.
I know.
Okay.
It's all right.
Jeez. I know. You know. Okay. All right. Hiro Manoa, Simon Olsen, 15 years young now, but 27 years old. Simon Olsen in the. Look at that winning percentage. 73%. That's just this year. Again, rookie of the year, Hiro Manoa. And I believe was his mom or his dad nominated for Smart of the Year? I think yeah. So I saw that on the voting sheet. But here we go. Hiro Manoa, Simon Olsen. Let's see how he ends up. Hiro Manoa, boom, right there in Juca Racing, 86. And Simon Olsen right there on the door. I mean, these guys, they're linking arms while driving down to that second outside zone. Great job by Hiro out front, and Simon Olsen cannot be shaken by Hiro Manoa. Well done by Simon Olsen. It is official. Simon is departing from the field suspension team. What he's building, TBD from Simon Olsen, and Hiro Manoa, again, cannot shake him.
Man, if this is what the future of drifting looks like, I'm pumped for it. Look at this, two young drivers, two very hungry. Hiro Manoa, right up against the wall the entire time. Simon Olsen mirroring the angle, following just his footsteps. And now Manoa center punches that inside clip, so not quite the line I was expecting from him. I was expecting a bunch more angle, but look at Simon Olsen right there, putting that front wheel to the door of Hiro Manoa all the way through. This is pretty wild. Now, once we flip this back around, I know Simon's going to push hard. He's going I know he's pumped in the car right now. He is super excited to get back out there. I'm really curious if Manoa will be able to actually keep up with what I feel like Simon Olsen is able to put down in the lead, because Simon just put on a huge chase clinic, but Manoa's lead, it was phenomenal. So,
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think you bring up a great point there. Here we talk about, all of his utilization of the simulator. The factor that you can't factor in is the chase. You know, and you could be great in the sim, but there's just the smoke, the wind, the hype, the energy of Irwindale, right? So that's where I think the equity and the history really holds up. But then he does this. Now he's just grinding like oh my gosh, he's saying, hey, you want that door buffed? I got you. Let me put this GT radio right here on the door. Simon, good angle there. He's scrubbing some speed there, but that allows Hiro Manoa to get close to him. Here, bring it on past. What a great battle. Make some noise, Irwindale.
Oh,
the judging booth erupts with applause. What a great battle between Hiro and that, of course, of Simon Olsen.
And this is top 32. We're just getting started. So let's take a look here. Simon Olsen on power all the way through, pushes out nice and wide. Manoa getting in there really deep, getting the proximity as close as he can, but I mean, it does take some angle out. And then as they transition through here, I'd say Simon does have a better inside clip. And look at how Manoa just gets into the pocket. Now, it looks like Olsen might have tapped the wall, pushing him a little bit wider through the second part of that second outside zone, while Manoa is just, wow, just an incredible chase game, as the judges already looking for a side-by-side, which, I mean, I just want to keep seeing replays of this over and over again. So, just a couple of small critiques here. Obviously, Manoa getting a lot of proximity. He does have to pull out some angle to do it, but his proximity is front wheel to door, which is what you want, because that means he's on a very similar or the exact same line as Simon Olsen. There's a couple of spots there where Manoa gets caught out, and obviously Olsen having that wall tap, pushing him a little bit wider through the second outside zone, will come into play here. And that one section might be what it comes down to.
All right. Breaking it down. Thank you, Jacob. And we are awaiting the verdict. Who is moving on? Simon Olsen up. But wait, there's more. Let's take a look. BC Racing side by side.
Yeah, so
what stands out, man?
I mean, lead-wise, things are looking pretty tight. I will say, I mean, man, even in the chase, it's really close. There's a couple of spots where Manoa's getting a bit better in the proximity category, but Olsen seemed to have a bit better of a line through that section. Now, really, the big thing that stands out there is that mistake from Olsen. But I would say Simon's chase is a little bit more consistent, although there's a few spots where maybe Manoa gets in deeper on the chase. Simon's was more predictable. It had a constant chase all the way through it. So it's really going to kind of come down to what the judges are favoring in these sections, or we're going to get treated with the one more time. I know what I want the one more time.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see a winner. I think we have a winner here. I think we have a winner here.
Yeah.
Slide him left for Manoa, slide him right for Simon Olsen. Hiro gets one of vote. He gets a two of vote. Gets two votes. It's split. So Reese Peanut Butter Cup Marin says no. He goes with Simon Olsen. The other judges, he liked the angle. So all right, well, split decision, but Hiro Manoa comes out on top. Simon Olsen, we'll see in a different car next year. Congratulations. Throw it down to Cerise Taylor. Cerise.
Thanks, guys. Yes, I am here with Frederick Osbo. Osbo, you are about to go up against Mr. Sorensen himself. You got youth versus experience. Talk to us about what your strategy is going to look like, especially since you've come in so strong in the second half of this season.
Well, I think it's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be all in for both of us. We've been doing decent runs, and I'd say pretty good leads here. Still working on my chases. He's ripping. I did really well here last year, and we're on the same tire, so it's going to be a very evenly matched battle. And I think it's all about being aggressive yet not risking it all, right? And Brandon might be young, but he's driving like a seasoned veteran. So it's going to take everything we got.
Yeah, absolutely. And how are you feeling going into this final event where you're coming for third or second if you can pull it off? I mean, any thoughts about that?
Absolutely. We've done well here in the past, and we've struggled here in the past. And so far this weekend, we've been on a pretty good trajectory. I feel like it's clicking again. I'm starting to really like this place again. You know, there's a lot of jitters, a lot of butterflies, a lot of people are expecting a lot, but at the end of the day, it's about taking it one turn at a time. And I feel good about it. I feel strong. You know, the boys have been killing it all weekend, but I also do know it's going to take everything.
It is. This track is absolutely gnarly. Everything is going to be laid out on the line. Thank you so much. We're wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Cerise. Thank you, Freddie, Frederick Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer, as we see Federico Sharifo, a lot of drivers going into that wall. Fetty, he's fought it, but he's back out here. But Trent Beecham, man, talk about a gentleman who is aging like a fine wine. You know, that Clone X BMW. Look at that Beecham right there. I mean, this track suits his style right now. Federico, unfortunately, down on the bank in that Pennzoil Ferrari. Now coming to that second outside zone, Fetty. Way shallow, way on the inside. Trent Beecham puts his car in the right place. Textbook run, just absolutely stellar. That was, I mean, that was like, if it was a single qualifying run, that'd be definitely in the 90s. Well done by Beecham. Fetty has some room to grow here.
Yeah, another young driver coming up, really pushing the pace, really doing what they need to do, listening in the drivers' meetings, understanding what the judges are looking for, making the correct changes to the car and the driving style to match that. Federico Sharifo, I mean, the fact that his car is just up and running is a win in my books. The damage that he took yesterday was insane, and it's not like you're just going to find parts for this. It's not like you can just order up any of it. Everything on that car is custom built for drifting, so only so many spares to be had, and I'm sure there was some repairs made just to get that thing back out on track to any, I mean, even if they had the spares for it. But yeah, Trent Beecham out front, nice and smooth, nice and consistent. Would like to see, once again, some more angle at that inside clip, a little more proximity to it. But when we talk about the big outside zones, everything looks good. Transitioning into our second inside clip, everything looks nice. And that line pushing out to the third outside zone, very smooth. Beecham's got everything he needs right now to keep pushing. Unfortunately, a car that's running well.
Well, he's got to maybe push the car back to the pits is what he might have to be pushing. That's unfortunate. Hood pop, that's never a good sign. And Beecham currently sitting 13th in standing, so congratulations to him. I think his best finish so far, but hood's popped, helmet's off, gloves are off. Yeah. All right, so take it. Interesting. So, you know what? Great time to promote some cool content. Send It is our video series that we've been following the season. So take a look. Here's a little clip.
Welcome to Formula Drift.
What you want?
I'm a cowboy.
You're like Velcro.
Right? I know. Breathe, Jacob. I am now.
Let's send it. Utah Motorsports Campus. That's right. Round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. A championship could be crowned here today. And it could be James Dean, first ever 4-time champion. But the pressure and all of the weight lies on Odi Bakshis's shoulders. That's the big news. Are you ready to send it?
The best part of waking up is driving in the event with the judges. It's a beautiful day for a beautiful day. We got fans queued up here. This line is huge.
Sweet hats, bro.
Thank you.
You stoked? Where are you coming from?
St. George, Utah.
St. George, Utah. All right. What's up with the pink pants? What's going on here?
For Lorette. We're trying to get Lorette to come over.
Oh, fancy pants?
She's in there. She's right there.
Lorette! They are wearing official Lorette Nickel pants.
No. Are you serious? You guys, I'm so grateful.
Didn't know there's a Fancy Pants fan club. All right, Takayano, look at this guy. Absolute vet right here. What's the biggest progression of the cars and the drivers and the show and everything, the competition?
You gotta have a team, and driver has to be good enough so that the whole team go together.
So it's not just me, it's we. Trying to interrogate people. Look at these two cowboys.
Boots, bro.
Those aren't boots. Those aren't boots.
You got sweats and a cowboy hat, dude. What's going on here? You're not a cowboy. Nah. What? Jeff Donati, how we doing, dude? We bid you adieu, man. The pink pig.
Yes, sir.
She gone.
She gone. There's a lot to do, a lot to experience, and I want to see what else is out there and keep having fun.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right,
Keep it up, dog. Have
See ya.
fun. How we doing, dude?
I'm good.
Yeah? Cool. Are you karting? Are you racing anytime soon?
Yeah, just came hang out, see you.
Kicking it? I know. Love this kid. Great kid right here.
Andy, why are you such an angry elf?
Why am I angry elf?
Yeah.
Is because when I hear the sound of your voice, it triggers me of all the 20 years of you screaming into the microphone about how wonderful you are.
Jared Ganda sucks.
I just talk shit, dude. I'm a puppet. Shove your hand way up there. I'm Jared Ganda. Like I'm like Kermit the Frog. All right, we are back and seeing Federico Sharifo, and I believe that is Alec Robbins and Shanahan. So Alec and Shanahan were to be the next pair. And Beecham, we don't have the hot pits that we had previous years. We've kind of changed the layout here, so they have to go all the way back to the standard pits, actually on the other side of the bleachers. So it takes a little bit more time. So there we are seeing Alec Robbins and Connor Shanahan. And Shanahan, we saw him in 3 different cars. Started up this car, went to Amanda Sorensen's car, her Pro Spec car, then went to Mac Moomy's car.
Yep.
Now he's back in the BMW. Did you?
No, this is Mac Moomy's car.
What?
But they've completely rewrapped it to look like his car since last night. So they've moved all the body panels over because that was part of it. I mean, there was a few things that didn't work out with Sorensen's car, but I did get clarification that the warm-up practice, the final practice, if you will, that is the part firme, if you will. When you enter into that, whatever car you enter into that with is what you need to drive in. So he came in with Meg Moomy's car, and that is what he's driving, although it does not look like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, Shanahan, got that victory earlier this year. Has never driven a bank track. He wins in Orlando. That was an exciting battle for him. He skipped 1 round. He missed Atlanta, and so here we are. Look at that. I mean, yeah, it's completely skinned with his graphics. Absolutely awesome.
And Alec Robbins, had a massive head gasket failure, able to get some welding done in a machine shop to put everything back together. So.
We'll see if it holds. Here we go. All right, Connor Shanahan out front. Alec Robbins at chase position. Shanahan, Alec Robbins, he's right there. Shanahan steady in this car that he just jumped behind the wheel for the first time yesterday. Now transitioning in that second outside zone. He drops that rear end in. Alec Robbins not as deep as Shanahan, the Irish driver. Again, a newcomer to the Formula Drift Championship, a rookie technically, but by no means is a rookie in the drifting world.
No, and really, I don't know how many laps he ended up getting on this car, but it was only a handful. Different power plant, same chassis, but we don't know what all is going on underneath, but just so adaptable, able to get in and put down a really solid lead run. And Robbins, with an engine that's hurt, doing everything he can to keep in the fight here, and does quite a good job. You can see the car kind of back and forth. I'm sure he's down on power, just trying to do what he can to keep the battle going, and it looks very much like Shanahan, is not super fast in this chassis right now. This is not something that was originally built to be in pro. It was not built to have these tires on it. It is meant as a pro spec car running a completely different tire of a different brand and a different size. So that is everything in drifting. So huge kudos to both of these drivers doing stuff that they really shouldn't be doing and still making it look good. Robbins for just having this engine hold together. You can see him just fighting the grip of the car. And then Mr. Shanahan just getting into whatever car is available and making it work.
He's like playing a video game. Which car do I want today?
Just rotating through.
Yeah, just like Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Which option? What outfit are you gonna wear? Here we go. Let's alternate the order here. Alec Robbins, again, not 100%. You say to maybe holding together with zip tie, bubble gum, and hopes and prayers. Here we go. But right now he's looking pretty solid. Alec Robbins on the bank. You can hear that thing wound up. He threw a brick on that gas pedal, man. Here we go to that second outside zone. Tighter, rider, and again, taking that shallower line. He's pulling away from Shanahan.
Something does not sound right.
Right? That's what I'm saying. It's just like
something.
I feel like he's in fourth gear. He's like in third gear.
I don't know what car that was.
Like, it has a growl to it. Yeah, I think it's on fire.
Yeah, I saw some sparks come out near the end.
Here we go. Let's take a look at it.
Hearing things not good, but yeah, Robin's looking really good out front. Not super fast once again, but doing a good job to that first outside zone. I mean, and Shanahan, good chase. Not a ton of angle there through the chase from Shanahan, and then Robbins through here. Does not look like things are healthy on either of these cars. Shanahan struggling to get the car back out. Robbins pulling away, and Shanahan almost straightening out near the end of it, but does a good job throughout and able to keep things rolling. I mean, man, huge round of applause for both these drivers just for keeping things running. This is wild. I have no idea if either of these cars are even alive at this point in time or what's going on. I got Jack Shanahan up here trying to relay info. Man, both of these cars are not in a good place at this point in time. So just everything they can do to keep things rolling and everything they can do to keep the show going is Robin's got the hood open. I think it might have let go. It's not.
Never let go, Jack. Never let go.
Never let go.
Never
Well,
let go.
I mean, say that to that engine of Alec Robbins right now.
Yeah, like right before it's going to go, you know, it just goes full on ham.
Yeah.
It looks like Shanahan does get the victory. And, you know, hopefully Alec, you know, hey, leave it all on the track.
Yeah.
Round of applause for Alec Robbins. You saw him throw his hand up in the air, risking it for the biscuit, or the brisket. Let's risk it for the brisket, you know. Where are we at right now? We got Hurst, LZ. Yeah, we haven't seen Odie because he's got that, you know, he risked it for the brisket baksheesh.
Yeah, Odie brisket baksheesh.
Uh-huh. So should be Hurst and Mohan.
So yeah, Hurst got into the wall as well. I mean, there's a bit of a theme here. Had to replace multiple corners of the car. Went out for practice. Then sounds like popped a drivetrain component. Able to get that fixed and yeah, back out. So batting 1,000 here.
Yeah, we got three decisions left to make. You got to think that, you know, Beecham did call that competition timeout, but we got Jonathan Hurst versus Mohan, and then finally Adam LZ versus RCP. A lot of letters there. LZ, RCP, FD. How about me? As we are moving on here with our Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32, we have a great halftime break. Come join myself at the Type S booth or at the K&N booth. I'll be splitting time there.
Both? How are you going to be in both?
Different times.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Or my son. That's, you know, I can't duplicate myself. So I had two boys. So Parker Jet's going to do it for me. And the Toyota Grip. If you have not seen Toyota Grip, be sure to check it out. Toyota Grip is an all-new series. You could take a look at the trailer for Season 2 of Toyota's latest high-octane original anime series called Grip, which combines heart-pounding action, adrenaline-fueled races, and a battle between the human spirit and computer control. Check out toyota.com/grip to watch all the episodes. It has this cool anime feel to it, so, you know, it kind of gives you that initial D vibes without, you know, something new. So check out toyota.com/grip to watch all episodes and stay tuned for more upcoming Grip content. That was the autonomous car there.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Go! The age of human driving must come to an end.
Not this time.
This is about more than just racing.
Insane, right?
Having a blast here as the party continues. It's sold out, so if you were planning on coming, just watch at home because it's going to unfold. Dude, I remember when this was just look at it, how Irwindale's transformed from 21 years ago, 2004, and now here we are in 2024. 21 years, our championship can legally party tonight. 21 years.
I think it will too.
Oh, it will party.
Oh, it will.
And it's going to party tomorrow. We're at the banquet. You'll be on the podium. Sopa will be up on the podium. I'll be rapping out. You came last year, right?
I was there last year. Yeah, it was a good time.
I get excessively
happy.
I cry a lot. To be honest, I cry a lot. Last year was really emotional, celebrating 20 years. I had my son there, or I should say our oldest son, Parker. T-Bone's here in the building today. You got a grand slam today.
No way.
Stoked.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, I crushed one. So yeah, but got my lovely wife here in the building, and yeah. So the banquet's tomorrow night, and thank you again for those that don't know. It is my birthday, and I just want to send a thank you, big blanket thank you for everybody, all the messages, and either in person or online. So thank you for all the well wishes, and again, you know, Formula Drift has such a deep family, either on track, off track, the fans, the friends, the family, the companies, all the people. So thank you so much for all the sweet messages and sentiments. So I really want to say thank you. So as we are moving on, seeing Federico Sharifo, seeing Jonathan Hurst. So see if we see Hurst and Mohan coming up. Nobody's moving. Hurst Mohan throwing him in the burnout box. The double bob. Burnout's over at Baghdad. And there they are jumping in. The Kumo Tire burnout box. The pride of Paducah. Throw some dirt on it. That gentleman, notoriously one of the loudest cars. His previous car, BMW, slammed hard into the wall, broke his ankle or his shin or something.
Yeah, he broke
his foot. Yeah. And he was out there. He's like, I just need a coilover, man. Yeah, just throw some dirt on it. I'm back out there. And so he went up a couple bars when I just felt his energy and just his tenacity. I was like, dude, this guy's the real deal.
That's his whole program. It's just scrappy. It's just
that's a good word, scrappy.
Making it work all the time. I mean, he's got one of the smallest budgets in FD and still making it work. I mean, they 3D print the taillights because it's so expensive. So it's super cool. It's very inspiring.
Resourceful, scrappy, talented driver. He's got a great attitude. Love his energy, and here we go. So Jonathan Hurst, he's going against another scrappy driver, the last starfighter running that rotary engine, the renewable lubricants Mazda RX-8, and that is Kyle the Menace Mohan. There we go. Mr. Cool, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Cool. A Cadillac XLR driven by Jonathan Hurst, and we got a restart. Like a cone was hit. It's usually just yep. So a cone was hit, 3 strikes and you're out. That's 1 strike against Hurst. In that start chicane.
Yeah, that XLR's he's got some wide body on it. It's a 101 body kit on that bad boy, and if you don't know, it's basically just a Corvette underneath. Yeah. Just a very, very fancy Corvette.
Cadillac XLR is what it is, but like you're saying, just a Corvette.
Super cool car, though. I remember when he told me, he was like, I think I'm done with the BMW. I'm going to go with an XLR. And I had to Google what an XLR was. And I was like, sure, man, just go for it.
Cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wedge, dude. It's definitely a cool car. Here we go. See if we got a clean start. And no cones red. We're clear to set. Jonathan Hurst initiating into the bank. The rotary of Kyle Mohan down quite a bit, but then now it looks like he gets the proximity. Hurst drops down, doesn't stick it to the wall exactly as tight as some of the other drivers we've seen, and out of this second outside zone, keeps it right between the lines. A lot of smoke being kicked off. Look at the wheel speed here from Jonathan Hurst. Crossing the finish line for Hurst and Mohan.
Yeah, good run there from Hurst. I mean, the car's still looking pretty tight. Like it's definitely gripped up. He's not getting as deep to the zones as we'd like him to be. So we see there, once he initiates, gets back on throttle, has to add a bunch of left foot brake to get it kind of back in, but not a ton of angle to that first outside zone. His transition looks pretty good, but not able to get things swung out. Now Mohan in the chase. Hurst's car is always fast, so just trying to keep up at this point, but Mohan does have a really good line through this section. And Hurst out front, I mean, great job through the second inside clip, and not a ton of angle through our last outside zone, but Jonathan Hurst, I mean, trained drag racer, incredible drag racer, knows how to get through that chicane. If he doesn't have to cones, he can gap guys right out of it, able to grab gears and keep the traction down, and that's one of the things he's really known for. And then Kyle Mohan through this, really progressing, something I talked about yesterday, just him keeping the throttle on the entire time, play with the left foot brake a little bit more, even if you got to slip the clutch, something, but just keep the RPM up in that rotary, because the moment you let off, it takes a minute, but they're going to swap it around, and let's see how much Kyle listened to me. I hope he listened all the time.
All right, we'll see if he takes your advice here. Jacob, Kyle Mohan out front, KMR from Long Beach, California. Again, flex fuel. And got the Vitor tires. Let's see what he can do out front with that clean air. See if he takes that tip. Here we go. Mohan and Hurst. Ready to get after it. And just a slow drip here. We are clear to send. All right, here we go. Taking a look. A little slow trickle there, talking about some of the other things going on behind the scenes. Status of other cars competing or not. Here we go, Mohan. There you go. Looks like Jacob. Look at you. You're the last starfighter running. Oh, buddy.
Oh, that is.
And that was absolutely independent by Kyle the Menace Mohan. Some contact there. That'll force Jonathan Hurst to get the victory. As again, Mohan spun on that transition.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that might change that is if Hurst touched him all coming off the wall. I don't think he did.
No, he was back there.
Yeah, he was back a little bit, but yeah, that was really, really strange. Just Mohan looped it out at that inside clip, and you can see that XLR definitely battled this year. Hurst is known to drive very hard, all the way through practice, all the way through the battles, and Mohan follow him out. And once we get this replay, we'll be able to kind of take a look at it here. So Kyle on throttle all the way through, gets the initiation out on a similar line that Hurst had in the lead. Hurst following a really good line there. And as they transition out here, yep, good separation. Kyle just loops it. Hurst loops it as well. And there's a little bit of a bump there near the end. Just anything strange happened here. Now just Kyle really trying to push through it, trying to drive through it, and wasn't able to catch the car in time, and just loops around that little bit. So sucks to see, but it happens.
Yeah, and yeah, you don't want to go out that way, but Mohan having some issues. Looks like he's jumping out of the car. Car's hot. Is he just congratulating him?
I think so, yeah.
And there it is. Yep, just giving a little handshake. Sorry about the little tap. First, like, nothing I can't fix.
Yeah.
I mean, this car is an anvil. It's taking a licking and keeping on ticking. Jonathan Hurst gets the victory unanimously. Kyle Mohan knocked out. And we are hearing that Trent Beecham is out. He's yeah, he's peeing some liquid down there. Well, not him, but the car, obviously. But yeah. So Federico Sharifo will get the bye run. So he's got a bit of a good luck string right now. He did again get into the tussle with the wall, but right now it looks like Federico will advance on.
Sometimes all you need is that little bit of luck. Just that one battle, you know, get through, and nobody wants to win like that, but you get that little bit of luck on your side, and that can hold a lot of momentum.
It's a song. All I need is a miracle. No? No? You got that one? All
I don't know that one.
Need is you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mike and the Mechanics, I believe.
Okay.
All right. So Federico Sharifo will advance on. He's going against the Irish driver, Connor Shanahan, new to the Formula Drift US Series. But Fetty will have a bye run. Let's lay out and listen to Fiorella, the Italian, driving the Italian vehicle. Mangi, let it eat. And one more battle after this, LZ versus RCP. Run through the whole alphabet for these drivers. And there we go. And like I said, lay out, listen, Federico Sharifo. And there we are. Fetty moves on, and one more battle left here for our Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32. Again, we have our halftime break here in just a little bit, and what's great is weather's perfect. Absolutely beautiful day out here at Irwindale Speedway, and we are scheduled to go back on local time 6:30, so 2.5 hours until we're back on. But what's cool is if you're here, you know, for the price of admission, you get full access. You can cruise through the pits, high-five drivers, activations going on everywhere, DJs, giveaways, including, again, I'm headed over to Type S and K&N today, so I'll be over at the Type S booth, giving out some goods, win some prizes, hang out over there, and then the K&N booth, again, win some prizes, giving some things out, so be sure to check that out. And yeah, so that's some things cooking in the pits. And tomorrow's the Formula Drift banquet. And there we are taking a look. Adam LZ, RCP. Adam LZ with the Sim HQ. It's a new livery there. I talked to Adam yesterday, and we were rapping out about sponsors and what he's got cooking. So he's got Sim HQ, LZ Manufacturing. I mean, obviously, very popular content creator out there making some videos, shredding, BMWs and Porsches and all of it. So here we go. This is great. It's a great battle. The battle of the BMWs. You got the E36 and the more modern, obviously, of RCP. Now going into that inside clip. Good transition there from Adam LZ. Look at how settled LZ's E36 is. There's RCP. Now he's applying the pressure. That garagistic BMW. He has to back off. LZ continues on through. A great run from Adam LZ. And just think, we thought his season was over, man. Like, we thought the car was written off, but he says, you know what, I'm doing good. Strapped a car back together, a new car, but let's take a look at it.
Yeah, you see a lot of drivers, they're getting on throttle really early and swinging the car out. So they got wheel speed and they get up to the wall. We do see some wavering there from Adam LZ, because then we transition back out. And Adam really able to carry a lot of the momentum through the car. So you can see there what I mean, just on throttle, using that wheel speed, keeping everything going. It's when you e-brake and check things up, it gets a little weird. But you do see that waver. Rome does mirror it, able to keep things really tidy through this section. And Adam able to get a lot of speed out of this car while still keeping a decent line, decent angle. So trying to really wrap everything together. But yeah, inside clip looks good. Last outside zone looks great. And Rome in the chase, I mean, this looks very solid. You do see a really big left foot brake though from Adam. I didn't see if there was a speed deduction at all, but Rome doing a good job. I would have liked to see some angle in the Rome, so that kind of cuts it straight. And then we see here where Rome just shimmying back and forth, tries to get the proximity in, has to check up just a little bit, and Adam's able to pull away for that amount of time, and that creates some separation as we come across the line. And we will swap them around. Let's see if Adam's chase game can keep up with his lead game.
Yeah, let's see what RCP has in store for Adam LZ. Garagistic BMW would love to end on a high. So would Adam. I mean, Adam LZ currently sits in 5th. He's 216 points behind the leader, and looks like he is about 56 points coming into this round. Oh, LZ pulling off. Okay, so Adam LZ, they are finding out that his exhaust is dragging. So they are gonna yank that off, and he'll be back to the line. So unfortunate for Adam LZ. So just a little bit of lull in the action. We'll see if that hampers his performance, his psyche, where he's at.
Shouldn't be. I mean, we've seen exhausts that have to come off anyways. I mean,
yank it.
I think Hurst came off in Seattle last year.
That's
and
right.
Hit Forsberg. So definitely a safety thing. It's a big hunk of metal. You don't need that flying at anybody.
Yep, exactly. All right, so let's get under the hood with that gentleman right there, Adam LZ.
My name is Adam LZ. I race in Pro 1 Formula Drift. I make videos and I build cars. How I first got into cars, I would probably attribute mostly to, being a kid, playing with Hot Wheels, video games. In the early days, I think it was Need for Speed Underground back on the PC, just kind of getting exposed to cars from that way, and then, eventually turning 16, getting a car, and actually getting into real cars. I never really wanted to work on cars. I never really liked working on cars. I did aesthetic things to my first car. When I got my E92 335i, that one, I dabbled a little bit more, but it was still never something I was good at. I never really had a lot of tools or anything. But I would say when I got my first S13, it was kind of a necessary evil to learn how to work on cars, because I got into drifting. I like drifting a lot, and quite honestly, you can't drift if you don't know how to work on a car. So I learned out of necessity to be able to drive more, and then from there, still, you know, if something breaks, I can fix it. I feel like I have a good brain for it. I'm definitely not the best mechanic. I wouldn't call myself a mechanic, but I can usually figure stuff out. When I was younger, I definitely didn't expect to own as many cars that I have now, nor was it even really a goal. I always had goals that were based around cars, but I guess they would shift based on whatever the next tier of success for me was. I was in a really cool spot where I was able to travel around, I could drift, and I can go to pretty much whatever track I want. We could build awesome cars, but it wasn't really challenging. It didn't give me enough purpose, I guess, as an individual. For my team as well, like, there was no real clear direction of what we were going towards. So when I started competing in Formula Drift, it was more so for myself to push myself as a driver and also to have a collective goal for our team. Rather than just building cars and drifting aimlessly, I like to have a purpose, something to work towards, and that's kind of what got me in the Formula Drift organization. In the early days of making videos, I made sure to show every single spin out, every single dumb mistake I made, working on the car, driving, and it's cool because someone can go back and look at my videos, especially nowadays with simulators, and they can see how many events it took me to be able to link a track. So now when like someone goes and they link a track their first event, they're like, oh my God, I could drive in Formula Drift. You know, it's absolutely realistic. You know, anyone could follow this path. Obviously, you got to be dedicated and you got to be able to be focused to get here, but it's not this far-fetched dream where you have to be born a race car driver to be able to do it. So in Formula Drift, I've driven my original S15, the RTR Mustang Spec 5 FD, and now my E36. Oh, I guess, and I rented an S14, two S14s, one from Atfield and one from Odie. Yeah, so this year it was not supposed to really be a season where I was competing as much as I have been. I had my E36 and I did really well with it in other competitions last year, and it was kind of like the ongoing joke of like, oh, you should bring that car to FD, you drive it so good. But I never thought it would be competitive. You know, it's front radiator, it's still stock gas tank, it's stock brake booster, it's very much so like a Pro-Am or grassroots style car that makes good power. So I didn't expect it to be competitive. We showed up to Long Beach and I was baffled by how easy it was to drive and still be really fast. So this year's kind of been like, oh, you know, we're just doing this, and then we do really well, so we get amped up, we go to another round, and sure enough, I think I'll have done the entire season by the end of the year. So after the crash, I got an overwhelming amount of support from my fans and from my team as well, and we were able to swing building a new car and actually raise enough money to be able to follow through with finishing out the rest of the season. So it's something that I absolutely wanted to do, but I was in a position where I was making a big boy decision of I probably shouldn't do this or it's going to make things too tight to be comfortable. So here we are, we're in Utah and we're going to be finishing out the rest of the season. Yeah. My goal in Formula Drift was to podium. That was my be-all end-all. I was like, once I podium, I'm good. That's all I need, and then I can focus on whatever my heart wants. And then I think it was actually my first podium in Pro 1. I actually won the event, and that was last year at E-Town. From there, like this year, I kind of didn't have any stress. I didn't really have any sort of goal other than just like, we'll see if the E36 does well. Once it did well, it was like, okay, let's see if we can podium in this thing too. So this year, it's a stretch, but it would be a goal of mine to finish in top 3 in points.
All right, going under the hood there with Adam LZ, competition timeout for Adam LZ. And so taking a look, and basically it's just a hanger, so it's nothing crazy. And Cerise, what's happening down there? Mrs. Taylor.
All right, guys, yep, we have a really quick fix. It sounds like an exhaust hanger fell on Adam's car, so the team already has the car back on the ground. We're going to get him back on track in just a second here, but this is why we have these timeouts, right? So you can go back, make sure your car is absolutely dialed. It's Irwindale. He's taking it very seriously, and he looks really focused. Here we go.
All right, there he is, leaving the pit area. Thank you, Cerise, and looks like he is ready to shred. Yeah, where else can you get this close to the action? The fans are down there. Again, you know, we have the packed stands, but, you know, the sun, when it's beating on you, gets a little hot, so people are like, all right, I'm going to take a break. You know, my guy's in, or, you know, we'll see. I'll go back and watch tonight. The stands, it's going to get loud. It's going to be so electric here tonight as LZ makes his way through the paddock area. And again, RCP waits in the wings. And advancing on. So taking a look at the battles here, Jacob, and the brackets, we got Odie Bakshis versus Jonathan Castro. We got Chris the Force Forsberg against Ryan Turk. James the Machine Dean, yeah, that's a good old Drift Alliance banger. James Machine Dean, 4-time champion, going against Matt Field. That's going to be a good one. Jeff Jones versus Ken Gucci, and again, another one. Frederick Osbo versus Sorensen. Again, again, the youth coming up, these young guns shooting for the vets. Dylan the Dozer Hughes versus Hiro Manoa. Federico Sharifo versus Connor Shanahan, and then Jonathan Hurst against either Adam LZ or RCP, Rome Charpentier.
Some good battles. Very, very good battles. Yeah. I do very much like the Chris versus Ryan thing.
Yeah.
It's a good throwback to the old Drift Alliance days, and it'll be a good one. I mean, Odie Castro, that's gonna be some incredible chasing one way or another. Jeff and Ken both looking good, like coming back in, really pushing things hard. So that one will be fun. And I mean, I really think Osbo Brandon might steal the top 16 show.
Okay. Yeah, just Brandon, just the way he's driving seems just really refined.
Well, he's kind of driving like Osbo drove, let's say 3-4 years ago. Like that very calculated, because Brandon was kind of a wild card for a long time, where he was crazy, and he would dive in and he would do, like, there would be some epic battles when he got everything sorted. But now, I guess with a couple of years of age and really, maybe Mike Kojima's calmed him down, I'm not sure. But it's now seeing him do things in a very proper manner instead of just going wild and doing just nut stuff. So, yeah, super, super cool to see.
All right, so Ryan's reminded me of last year, Field and Dean going against each other, and that's when they got to went to the wall and all that. So yeah, that was a wild one. So here we go, the second half of this battle. Are we going to get a victor? RCP, Adam LZ, Sim HQ, LZ Manufacturing. Here we go. Garagistic, BMW, RCP out front, Rome Charpentier, and looks like a cone was hit, so they will restart. Cone hit. Cone down. Cone down.
Speaking on the SimHQ stuff, they just released the definitive version of the LZ compound. Lots of hidden Easter eggs. Pretty cool map. Into Assetto Corsa, you can jump on simhq.com, pick that up, and see what the compound's like.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Lots of sim drifting stuff, man. It's kind of the theme of the year.
Yeah, for sure. Again, Sim Magic is the official simulator of Formula Drift. You have a really cool setup here. My son and a bunch of other enthusiasts were over there ripping around.
Have to get you on it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I can just announce.
just sit in the chair and start announcing.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah. Jared Deenda at the line.
Yeah, yeah, that's weird. Yeah. Here we go. Deanderthal. RCP Rome Charpentier leaving the start line. Got a clean start? Yes, we do. All right, look at Adam just roasting the tires down the straight, coming into the big bank. Good proximity. Look at that. I mean, just that, they make it look so easy coming down off that bank in the transition. Nice quick transition there from RCP, Adam LZ. You can see him inching closer and closer to RCP. Rome Charpentier. Pretty sure we're going to get a side-by-side. Good angle and effort from both the drivers. Really clean, very sterile. Well done.
Yeah, both. You can see Rome already just, super pumped. Like that's the kind of driving that both of these guys like, Rome and Adam. I mean, known for just the immense amount of seat time that they both get. Both of them driving pro cars in places they probably shouldn't be driving pro cars, but it means that they can drive the way you're seeing right now. Rome, not a ton of angle through there, but really deep for the first outside zone. Transitions out, you can see him holding it through, now using the decel as he transitions back into our second outside zone. Same thing, not a ton of angle there, but does fill the entire zone. And then through this inside clip, looks good, could have been slightly closer to the clip there. Rome just a very clean lead run.
Yep.
Now, swapping things over, looking at Adam in the chase, lights off really early, then starts to pull the proximity in a little bit closer. You can see Rome wavering just a bit. Adam does a good job not to get too freaked out by that. Sits in that smoke bath all the way through the transition point in that inside clip. Now through the second outside zone. Really like how Adam's got the car planted. He's not shimmying back and forth. He's just holding the line all the way through. Very consistent. Playing with the left foot brake to keep it. Now we can see the stats, the G-force, the speeds that these drivers have at 75 miles an hour through the bank. And then let's see how much speed that they end up scrubbing off through this transition. 65 for both of them, transitioning back out. Really not scrubbing that much in the beginning, and then back down to 60 as they have to get the car to angle and slow things down. You can see that G-force back and forth as they're able to kind of pick up grip and push the car forward. I think we're going to be seeing a side-by-side here. I mean, really interesting set of runs from both these drivers, both of them on the Vitor, which really makes for a great battle. When you have similar tires, it looks really good.
Here's that side-by-side. I knew it was going to come just, again, for the time difference.
Yeah, so really it looks like both of them have very similar leads. Adam was a little bit closer in the chase there through the transition. Kind of hard to tell at that point. And then really, Rome's got a bit more of a darty chase, whereas Adam's a little bit more consistent. And Adam keeps that proximity through that inside clip, whereas Rome kind of gets forced to back off through that section. So pretty close from both of them. I really don't have a one way or another that I'm leaning on this. I mean, great runs from both of them. A few spots to clean up, mostly just in the consistency of it. But as they drive more, as they go through this weekend, or this evening.
Yeah, this evening.
We'll see things just, tighten up and get better and better.
All right, do we have a verdict? Here we go. Slide up left for Adam LZ. Is he moving on, or RCP? Adam LZ gets 1 vote, 2 votes. Adam LZ gets the win. Not unanimously again. Mr. Reese's Peanut Butter Marin down there says one more time, but outshined by Robbie Nishida. Not outshined by Robbie and Brian, but they went the way of Adam LZ. So the dominant letters there are LZ over RCP here at FD 2024. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Colette. Congratulations, she walked by over here. And that is a culmination of a Rockstar energy drink, top 32. Congratulations to James Dean, your 2024 Formula Drift champion. 17, 18, 19, now 24. He's won 4 times. Congratulations. And again, one last piece of business, and we are all going to culminate. Everybody grab a knee because we're going down. It's going down. Back at it, Track Addict. Here's 6:30 local time. Local time right now is 4:20. Nice. As we have top 16 back here. Thank you so much. Again, I'm going to go party in the pits over at Type S and the K&N booth. Be sure to high-five your favorite drivers out here if you're in the building. Thank you so much for joining us here. Round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Again, back here at 6:30 local time. Send it.
Your friends like Colombo. You be the judge like Rondo.